but we're live.
We'll fix this.
We'll fix it. We'll do it live.
There.
We're online.
I guess eCam doesn't work, but that's fine.
Wilber, what's going on, dude? We are live on YouTube right now.
All right.
We'll do it live. Oh, that's me. I need to mute
I'm
myself.
getting an echo, so let me mute my Skype.
Yes.
I guess eCam doesn't work, but that's fine.
I can hear that.
That's why. I was on YouTube too. Cool. What's up?
I'm good, man. How are you? Are you feeling jet lagged after Blackpool?
I didn't get too bad. I timed it perfectly. So I took like normally I would have taken like a red eye, which would mess me all up. But I got here at like 8 my time, and no, I got back to the bus station at 11 p.m. my time. So it was super late UK time, but I just got like that second wind and just went to bed at a reasonable time and slept basically the whole next day and felt great. But the people at the bus station, I valet parked my car, and I went back and I was like, cool, I'm here to pick up my car. Yeah, sorry, we lost your key. And I was like, haha, oh, you're serious? And they were like, we're so sorry. No one there, 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, dude, I'm 10 days international travel and 26 hours of flight. And I'm 2 hours, or I'm still an hour from my house. What are you telling me? What's the solution? And their solution was for me to pay out of pocket $200 to take a cab home until they could find my key. Just icing on the cake. I mean, the travel was smooth sailing, but once I got home, it was brutal. But then I just slept the whole next day and felt great. Kind of I had my kids the next day and was right back at it. So,
well,
yeah.
What are you? You're like, you're East Coast, aren't you? So the time difference is only 5 hours.
Yeah. It's just if you miss the timing, it can mess you all up, And usually I would take like a red eye. So I'd get here and it would be like midnight, but I'd be either really energetic or it would be late in the day. And the last 2 times I went to Blackpool, I had super, super bad jet lag. And I was like ready for it this time and I felt great. I did sleep the whole next day with a little brain fog, but I felt great after that. Felix, it took a couple days for Felix to get out of the brain fog and sort of mental like, ugh. But
I find like
when was awesome.
When I go to East Coast, I'm okay. If I go to California, I wake up at like 4 a.m, bright as a button, and it takes me a day. But then when I come home from like California, I'm gone for like 2 days.
I heard this weird thing that I tried and it did work. That I'm sure it's hippied out science, but if you have jet lag, you take your shoes off and you go onto grass or sand of where you are and walk around for like 10 minutes. And something about the electrons and your feet touching that, like I know, but if it was a placebo, then it still worked because I went to the beach.
Yeah, true.
The second time I came back from London when I did a keynote speech out there, it hit me bad. And the next day I walked on the beach and I felt fine. Now walking on the beach is pretty enlightening and uplifting anyway, so I don't know, but you can Google, there's a bunch of people that swear by it. It's like jet lag can be cured by walking on the ground in bare feet outside.
I guess it could work. I mean, if you're outside,
I'm not saying I'd put any money on it, but
D. I'm really doing some mental gymnastics to try and make that work in my head. We got some people already in the comments, but just before we dive into it, let's get a message to everyone on Instagram. So I'll record a video right now.
You know what? I'll post one too.
Okay, here's a link.
Post you posting a video of.
If I send you this link, I've shared it on Facebook. You can share it there too, so we can get some people in. We got.
I've got the link. Yep.
Okay, we got Magic Put, Von de Leon, and Marcus J. We're gonna get to all your questions now. Leave them in the comments. But.
All right, you go and tell me when you're starting.
Adam, say what's up to Instagram.
What's up, Instagram? Lloyd, say what's up to Instagram.
Yo, what's up, Instagram? What's up to Adam, Lloyd? Shit. Come and join us right now for a Sunday session live.
Head on over. The link is right there. Love to see you. Ask some questions. We'll be here for a bit.
All right. We got Von de Leon who says, hey there, Lloyd and Adam from Qatar.
Very cool.
Qatar, that's in the Middle East, man. People watching everywhere. We got...
Hey, doing a lecture tour, so let's line it up. I got a big project I'm going to be lecturing with this whole year, so let's find a group and get me out there. That'd be awesome.
Well, Marcus J says, finally catching it live. What's good, Lloyd? Great to see Adam. And he follows up with, Adam, when do we get to buy your coffee cups and beans? Lloyd was speaking very highly of your performance at Blackpool Magic Convention. There's me repping you, brother.
This month, late this month. So I just showed Lloyd the first draft of the trailer. We're finalizing everything, waiting for one more shipment to land at Murphy's warehouse. And then end of this month, early next month is when they are flying out the doors. And I do hopefully mean flying because there's quite a lot invested. So I'm also really going to be pushing it this whole year. But the launch date, you'll be seeing teasers. We'll be teasing a bunch on Volpine with a page where you can sign up and some added goodies. If you sign up through us, you're going to get a really cool... Lloyd knows the deal. In the Magic game, if you can get people to buy direct from you, it's a drastically different scenario than they buying from Magic shops. So we're trying to entice people with some really cool free stuff. So keep looking at my socials and at Volpine, but the end of this month is when we're going to be allowed to ship them out.
So what was the actual release date? And first of all, we got Magic Put, who says Adam Wilber in capitals, and Dylan White says, what's up, guys? Lots of love from Australia. So we're going from the Middle East,
cool.
Australia.
Awesome. We'll have an Australian on the Cups and Balls project, actually. You'll see. His routine is in there as well. So you've probably seen him all over social media, but he's an expert at the street performing. And
no, I know who you're talking. You didn't tell me this, but I can take a pretty good guess at who this is.
Go ahead.
The Magic Busker guy?
Yep.
No fucking
he's
way.
Awesome. And he's done. So the whole point of the project is like, you may not, I get it. I have a unique style. I'm cheesy. I'm a dad. I've got corny lines. That's it. You either like it or don't. So with the project, you get a drastic range of performing styles. Perseus Archimanis, who's a scripting genius.
Script.
This kid from Belgium who, trust me, the entire Magic industry is going to know who this kid is very soon. He's freakishly good.
From Belgium.
And what's that?
From Belgium?
Yeah.
Not Think.
Nope. I will show you.
Who is this?
His name's Jonas. He's a young kid. He's 17. He was on Belgium's Got Talent. But it's inspiring to me to see somebody like this. Let me put it this way. We gave him a set. He's been working for weeks on a script. I don't want to say too much. His script, 50 times better than my routine. And it's
shit.
I mean, it's really, the kid he's where I hope Magic is going. He cares deeply about it, and you can see it. So the whole point is that Busker is going to have his presentation. Perseus is going to have his. Tom Wright, who is a crazy worker.
You got Tom Wright on the project.
Yep, Tom Wright's on it. Michael O'Brien is on it, who, again, he works at Disney in the Magic shop. There's probably not many people that have performed more magic to lay people than someone who works at a Disney magic shop. So it's just a wide range of performing styles. So whatever routine you like, there's going to be one that you can pick and choose from. But he'll be on it from Australia as well. So that'll be cool.
Dude, you've gone... I mean, I was lucky enough, and I feel like I'm rubbing this in. We got a bunch of comments coming in. We got Nigel Quinn says, hey, Adam, your amazing coffee cups and beans are amazing.
Thank you, Nigel. Great to see you, buddy.
And Marcus asks Nigel, did he see it in person? Dylan White says, TikTok guy. So Dylan White said, yo, he's insane about the busker.
Sorry, just posting this.
Marcus J's got a question. Super excited. Is the site open now to sign up direct with you? We'll happily go direct, my man.
Absolutely. So you can go to Volpine Creations, volpinecreations.com or volpinemagic.com, whatever's easier for you. And there is a little pop-up. It'll say get some free tricks. If you sign up to that, you're already going to be signed up to get all the updates for the Cups and Balls. We don't have the actual Cups and Balls, I guess, lead capture page is what you would call it, up yet, but it's all going to be the same email list. So if you just go to volpinecreations.com or volpinemagic.com, click that little pop-up, you'll get 3 free downloads, but also you'll be on there and you'll know, you'll hear of everything. So thank you. I would appreciate that.
I was just lucky enough to see a draft of the trailer. I don't want to rub it in anyone's faces, but Do you know, it's one of those projects where a trailer will never be good enough to show off how good it is, but also it's fucking incredible to watch the trailer at the same time to see all these people. I won't give anything away, but there's a lot of faces that you'll recognize in the trailer. It's some beautiful shots. It really highlights just how good the project is. And it was shot, you shot it all at Blackpool, right?
100%. Yep, we did our Blackpool, the convention, and stayed for 4 days after and filmed hours of teaching and the trailer. So, Felix does all of our editing for trailers, all our photography and things of that nature. It's new to him, right? It's making a video is one thing, but making a trailer to sell a product is another. Making a trailer to sell a product that's a magic trick is a whole nother. I mean, you know the game. So it's just
also making a trailer to sell a product which has been sold 10,000 times before in different variations. Cups and balls. It's like trying to sell an electric guitar to guitarists.
Yeah, I mean, luckily there is some innovative stuff that's not been done before, right? The fact that it's coffee, cups, and beans is one thing, but you obviously don't have to use it. When I first started, I was using the standard, these things. It's just changing. What I really wanted was to not have to come out with silver or gold goblets and explain to people, which is fine. It's a magic trick, right? There's nothing wrong with saying these are magic props, but I'd always wanted coffee. And it just worked out better. And again, they don't have to be coffee beans that explode out or coffee that's poured out of the liquid load. So once people get them and start creating their own things, sugar cubes and, creamer, all sorts of stuff, the sky's really the limit. But it is, the cups and balls is not a new trick by any means. So it's not like I'm saying brand new, innovative, never before seen magic trick. It's just a very unique take on one of the oldest things that we do. And I like the idea of updating the classics. I think finding a relatable thing to a classic is awesome, right? It inherently then becomes, I've seen those cups at Denny's, not, I wonder what magic store he went to buy those cups.
Yeah.
It's a big project.
I love how much sense the final loads make with it, because cups and it's good to startle people with an object like a lemon or an 8-ball or whatever, but to get the same reaction, the same shock, startling reaction, but with something that makes sense to the routine.
Sure.
It makes it just has that little extra scratch of the itch, itch of the scratch to break. It just feels much more completed.
I always thought it was a little awkward. A lot of performers, when they do the fruit, it's great. The surprise is great. That's what people love, right? The colorfulness, the surprise of it. But at least put a line in there that justifies it. Instead of here's this beautiful cups and balls routine, and then at the end, and lemons, because why not? Or, kiwis, because kiwis are funny. It's like, okay,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why but again, there are people who do script it where it makes sense. And I did it for decades. I would produce the lemons and then a banana at the end. And my line was literally, and why? Because fruit's funny. And that was all I could come up with, was because it's humorous. These shouldn't be in here, And it worked, but I do like the through line of it being coffee related. The whole point was really that coffee is that thing where when you sit down and have a cup of coffee, some deep conversations happen. When your homie comes over, or you're having a conversation with a loved one, it's like, here, sit down. You want a cup of tea or some coffee? We got to have a chat. And it's not, my original idea was to be sitting in a coffee shop performing the cups and balls. Sorry, let me turn that off. That's annoying. Performing the cups and balls and having it time-lapsed in the background. So it was just this busyness of life as you sort of slowed down into the cups and balls. We were in Blackpool and we genuinely couldn't find a coffee shop that was busy there. So it was sort of like, well,
that was at the convention. But we got some comments flooding in.
Yeah.
Nigel Quinn says, I seen the set of Prop Dog and Adam performed it. King OK says, I saw it live on the Vulpine stand in Blackpool. Looks awesome. And then Marcus J's commented, I appreciate the info, Adam. We'll be signing up after the live stream. And he's replied to Nigel saying, jealous, haven't even seen it or a performance anyway, just going off Lloyd's word on the podcast. just know it's going to be a killer, as with everything Adam touches. And Nigel's come back and says,
thank you very much, dude. I mean, honestly, the goal, my partner and I, Felix, set the goal of Volpine from the start to be twofold. That nothing we put out, I haven't tested for real paying audiences, which I think is you can always tell Magic creators that have worked the material and Magic creators that haven't. And there's nothing wrong with the ones that haven't. There's some...
Hey, I feel personally attacked.
Case in point, the Magic you put out, I'm not talking about people who just put crap out to make money. It's just two different types of people. There are creators that create good Magic, and then there's performers. My goal was always that, how do I make it so my tricks don't end up in people's drawers? Well, if I can't really perform them to a paid audience, more than likely they're going to end up in a drawer. Doesn't mean it's not cool, just means it's not something that's got a practical in and out, right, in real world. Why would I perform it? How do I get to performing it? Can I perform it? Can I get out of it? And anything that we put out at Volpine has to check those boxes. I have to be able to go to a show where someone paid me and actually do the routine. Then the price. We wanted, our goal was that no one could ever buy something and feel as if they paid too much for what they got, right? So that would be like someone buying something for $40 and be like, honestly, man, this is worth 20 or 25 bucks. And that's really been our goal from the start. And so far, I think we've fallen in line with it. And, some challenging times, right? Prices of everything have gone 4 to 5 times what they used to be. So while we're not really making any money with the company, we've laid the groundwork to at least have people know if we put something out from Volpine. I look at people like Bill Abbott and Cody Fisher, where they don't put something out and it's clear as day if they haven't worked it. So if there's a release from one of them, you can buy it and you're going to be happy with it. And that's really the goal that we tried to set. But for the person that said they didn't get to see it, let me show you this. Let me see if I can. Great. So check this out. We'll do a little tease here.
Wait, so I can't see. Have you got a different screen?
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Let me just check that it looks good. Ooh!
The only thing are 3 arms. The 3 arms go in here, and those 3 arms are the metal servant arms that hang off for the magnetic final loads. But this is it. 1, 2, and 3. The coffee beans, one is a shimmed coffee bean. The others are rubberized normal. So I'll put those aside. These are the final load inserts. So this is the liquid one. Again, this is hanging off the table. So you do your reveal, come over and lightly touch it, and now you're loaded. And that's magnetized in, locked and ready. That's the liquid. And these are the other beans. So these are the large final loads. These are the first final load beans. These are the regular. They have a very nice rubberized feel to them. You really have to touch them to get it, but
it's kind of got that like material that you had on Pyro, that soft but solid but smooth.
Exactly
sort
right.
Of rubber.
Yep. It's if you own a Pyro, it's the exact same coating as that. It's just got a really nice feel to it. Also, they're made in such a way that they're made to be palmed. So even if I'm palming something pretty openly, that just fits nicely into a palm. And then the other final loads are these. And I had a guy email me who has this exact same design. So he saw the cups and balls. He goes, hey, man, just so you know, I've been doing this for a few years. Great minds think alike type thing. I was like, awesome, man, looks good. He goes, I'll be honest, I wish you weren't releasing it because I'd like to be the only one doing it. But same idea. You're going to reveal a final load here. Now on the 2 end ones, it's in the motion of bowing. So boom, final loads. And then you sort of come down and take a bow. And as you bow, this just touches, locks in, and you're now good to go. Now all I have to do is slightly push forward or twist, lift up, and whatever you have in here will explode. So obviously the limitations are the weight. If you were to fill this with sugar, that would be a bit too heavy and that wouldn't be able to hold it. But if you filled it with something like sugar cubes, you got to adjust the weight. But this whole thing can be filled with coffee beans, and those magnets will hold it in. So a little teaser, my routine is really what I'm proud of. It's talking about the idea of the fundamentals of magic and going through each of the 5 fundamentals. And as you're going through the fundamental, it's happening. So vanishes, they vanish. Appearances, they appear. Transpositions, they transpose. So it's a really cool routine for me, because I can sort of tell a story that goes along with it. And then the other nice thing about these, which I don't do a lot of, but people who are more creative than I, because you've got the handle, there's quite a few added things that really help to add to the already convincing illusions. The first is that I can show 2 cups empty, and just by holding out, when I spin this to put the cup down, you've automatically loaded, right?
Fuck off! I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I mean, so just because the handle's here, you've got all these added features of...
Yo!
Secondly, the classic cup through cup.
Sick.
So normally if you do this with cups, you're doing it like this, right? And one cup goes through the other. But just adding that handle to the equation adds this really cool, it like tricks your brain. All I'm gonna do is drop and grab here. But because of the handle, you get this retention of vision where it looks like the cup's gone through the cup.
Fuck?
Oh, that was bad. It's hard to do sitting down. 1, 2, 3. And it looks as if your fingers never moved, which makes it a little more convincing than what we normally do with just regular cups, right?
Yeah.
There's a few cool, also if you do any sort of flaring type stuff, you can do, you know, I've got one guy who's a buddy who has a set and he does,
Come forward.
remember Cocktails movie, where they do all that sort of flaring with cocktail drinks. He does a bunch of stuff like that with these. So, you know, it's for someone who wants to actually do
already, like, just that first move of you palming it and then swinging it round, like, I can see that just getting so many people inspired, because it's true, it looks so fucking clean.
Even a double holdout, right? Because this is how you would show your cups empty to sort of show the audience.
Yeah, you would actually do that as well.
Setting them down in a normal motion, you've just loaded both final loads if you wanted to.
I've never seen that before.
That's all that's pretty much the whole kit. But
well, there's some interesting things as well, though. There's one thing which you can't explain over video because it's the load. Is that the feeling of that load, because they're magnetized but they're silent? It's like it's hard to explain. But you come near it and he goes
right
like
next. So here's the mic. We'll put the mic right.
It's got
here.
like this like.
This is how dead silent room.
It's the feel of it though. It's like very like.
It does feel good.
Oh, it's so satisfying when it happens.
Especially in performance, because the timing is built into where you're at this moment, it's boom, final load, and naturally your hands are here and you just want to naturally bow, right? And in the bow, it just it's so fun to do, because you're here, they think the trick's over. Thank you very much, showing cups empty. You take a bow, and now you come back out. You've got liquid loaded and those, and they think the trick's over. You're just light years ahead.
What's really, really nice about this as well is that is that you can do, before you do the final load of coffee beans, you can do like lemons and stuff.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
But what's really nice about that is that when you load like lemons and oranges or whatever, anything you want to do, right, you do the normal thing. And if anybody's been watching you super closely and they think, I seen his hand come up, when you do the actual final bow, you are literally doing nothing. And
they see your fingers. They see, this is what they see, right? So they see, like you said, if they're like, oh, I bet there's something under there.
Yeah.
You hit them with it. They go, oh, I got him. You take your bow. This is all they see. You go out of frame for a second and you're
nothing
come back
happens,
totally
yeah.
loaded. It's just a great moment. And in Blackpool demoing it, I would get applause. They would think that was the end of the trick. And now I'm triple loaded, and I'd have to stop their applause to be like, no, hold on. And then end with that. It's just, you see magicians see it, and you can tell who are the ones that have worked cups and balls. Because you can just watch them go, ooh, and like figure out where that would fit into their performance. So
yeah, I was at the stand for a long time watching magicians watch this, and I recognized a few famous faces who are people that have done or do the cups and balls, and I'd like be at the back and I'd watch them, and I'd be watching. And some people who don't, I don't do the cups and balls, but I know this well enough from knowing you. So they watch them and they're like, oh yeah, cool, oh that's interesting. And the people who actually do this shit, there was a few people that were like, and they did the whole face where they go, where you see the minute they go, I know exactly where I'm putting that in my act. They went, and like that, it was like, oh fuck, these guys are actually really impressed.
I'm just excited to see what people come up with. I mean, the handful of people we've sent a set to be part of the project, they've blown me away. We got a sit-down version from a friend out of New York who's a worker. I mean, he does cups and balls regularly, and he basically took these props, incorporated his routine, and it's a beautiful sit-down version of it, right? It's just, and I mean it when I say in the presentation, I talk about why I love the cups and balls so much, because obviously there's different trains of thought on what it takes to be a magic trick, right? They've got the famous one where there's like 12 keys to magic, but then there's the fundamentals, which Jamie Ian Swiss, I think that's Jamie Ian Swiss, right?
Yeah. Industrial Revelation, who wrote that like comic book thing called The Approach. Not comic book.
Nope, that's Jamie D. Grant.
Oh, yeah. So many triple barrel entendre names.
I know. I think it's... I feel horrible if I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, he had a thing where in his Cups and Balls, he talked about the fundamentals of magic. Their appearance, disappearance, transposition, transformation, and defying the laws of nature, with a caveat of mental magic maybe being one of them. So I take those 5 fundamentals of magic, and really, the classic magic tricks usually encompass more than one. A lot of magic tricks encompass 1 or 2. They'll make something vanish and maybe reappear. They'll make something disappear from the deck and end up in a card box, a transposition, right? They'll make something levitate, defying the law of nature. But it's rare to have a magic trick that encompasses vanishes, disappearances, transpositions, transformations, and defying nature. That's rare. Most tricks don't have all of those. Almost all versions of the Cups and Balls do, which is why it's such a cool thing, and why so many people say, if you want to be a close-up or a sleight of hand magician, you need to learn the Cups and Balls. Yeah. Because you have to encompass basically everything that it takes to be a close-up magician into one routine, and then figure out how to tie it all together. And I love that. There's very few magic tricks out there that do that. And instead of trying to articulate that, I just wrote the script as that. So now you can teach your audience that, and it's just it's fun to perform. And anytime I come up with something that's grandfather's top, it's just fun to perform. I enjoy every time I get to perform it. It's the exact same with these things.
Well, let me get some comments fired off here. We got a bunch coming in. Nigel Quinn says, I'm not a coffee drinker, so could we please have a teacup and tea leaf set as a sequel with a teapot too?
I mean, you could totally do tea with this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you would use for balls, but
Marcus,
yeah, absolutely.
Marcus J says, I've actually never even performed Cups and Balls routine, as it just doesn't suit my personality, but the coffee idea just works, and the liquid ending sounds amazing.
Awesome.
We got Midge, who came with me to Blackpool, Midrin, who's filming with me. He says, hello. I missed your call in the week. I missed 2 of your calls, I think, in the week, Midge. It's been very busy. I will get back to you. Alex Bowe just says, hey guys. Marcus says, do we have a rough recommended retail price on it at all? Grabbing it regardless, but always nice to know.
$250. Yep, US $250 retail for the whole kit.
That's dirt cheap.
Well, again, I'll be bluntly honest with you. We wanted to release them for $200 a kit, because I mean it when I say I never want someone. We know the game. We've been in developing magic long enough that we know a lot of magic is overpriced. Mm-hmm. But there's a reason for it. People don't understand what it really takes to get a product to market, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted this to sell for $200. That was always the goal. $199. With the way the economy is right now in China, the shipping was 17 times. I know it sounds ridiculous. It was almost 20 times more expensive to ship than usual. So if we sold these for what we wanted to, realistically, we would be losing money selling it to big, like Murphy's, right? Because they get it at a massive discount. So it's going to be $247.
I still think that's really, really cheap, because each of the cups are chopped with a magnet, right? So that's 3 chopped cups if you want. You also get the load-in docks. So the bases.
There's more to this kit than any other Cups and Balls on the market. You get all 3 loading arms. You get all 3 magnetic inserts. You get 4 normal beans, 1 chopped bean. All 3 cups are chopped, and chopped in a way that you can't. I mean, you could give this to an audience member it's a normal cup.
They won't break either. I've seen you dropping these on the floor on purpose at Blackpool and them not smashing.
And I do say in the teaching, don't drop the cups. They can break, right? Like they are durable. They're not porcelain, but try not to drop them because they can break. Yeah. But they are.
You can take these on the road with you and perform 100 shows, 1,000 shows, and you're gonna be, as long as you don't fucking beat the shit out of them, they're gonna be great.
Yep. And I've seen the beans. We had to tool the beans, so that's $22,000 right there, just to be able to make the mold. I tried to get pre-existing, and they had a couple. I could have used cherries, coffee cherries, but then I had to explain, oh, this is what a coffee bean goes inside of. And we just said, screw it. If we're going to do it, we'll just have everything
molds are a killer. Like that's actually before you get into the cost of production, like cost of materials then.
And then at that point, what really happened is we molded everything. We paid for all that, and then all of a sudden we've started finding out hidden fees. So what we were initially quoted on this project, it went up 4 times from a year. It took a year from development. So been working on it forever, but from when it went to production, a year of it being produced. And it was 4 times what we were quoted initially. But that was after our tooling was paid. So you don't get to back out of that, right? Then you're just throwing 30 or 40 grand down the drain. So it's been challenging to say the least, but we still, at 247, we looked at what else is on the market.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's cups and balls out there that are more expensive than that have nothing else with them.
There's a cups and balls set that costs $250 that comes with 2 cups, 1 routine, and a couple balls.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that what you're getting for value, but regardless of the props alone, also there's very few where you can buy a set of cups and balls and get an in-depth teaching class to go with it. You can get Daryl's or Michael Lamar's really in-depth teaching, but you then go get your own cups and balls. And we wanted this to be someone who's never done it before could pick it up and have more teaching than they need, or somebody who's a professional could just go, I don't need the teaching, I just want the props. So, I think what will happen is that when people start getting it, they'll realize the amount of work that's put into it. Everyone, David at Prop Dog and the people that know what a product should be have all just looked at it and said, dude, my hat's off.
Honestly, if you had said this is and this is not blow smoke up your ass moment, but if you had said this was a $500 retail, I would have been like, probably it's expensive, but it's fair. So to come in half that, and you would have sold it at 500.
Really knowing people in the industry all say it'd be a minimum of 350.
Yeah.
But in my head, that gives room for somebody to say, well, I don't know, but we try. For us, we're a brand new company that's trying to build our brand. So the biggest things we can do is know that these things work in the real world and price them as fairly as we possibly can. And we genuinely believe if we just keep putting good magic out that we stand behind at a fair price, it's going to end up paying off, right? At some point, there'll be a shift in the tides where it's like, nope, when Volpine puts something out, they do it for the right reason, and I'm going to support it. So, I think we've laid the groundwork, and then hopefully with this sort of pushes us over, because it's not easy to be to try and make a living as a magic creator. I'm a worker for sure, but it's a pandemic. There's still a lot less shows going on than there used to be. They're picking up, but my goal is to be able to run Volpine as my full-time job. And if we didn't lay the groundwork of being a company where when we put something out, we really do stand behind. We've pulled 3 products that could have gone to market, but I tried them in the real world and they're shit. So I'm not,
really?
The presentation missed, the laugh lines were off.
Yeah.
There was no real moment of astonishment. It was a puzzle, right? It was a clever puzzle.
Yeah.
And we're not going to put out clever puzzles. So we just, we weren't heavily invested in them, but they easily could be products on the market. They're just, they don't hit. So why, I know if I put that out, more people would be throwing it in a drawer or going, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have spent $50 on that.
I got a few things on that. Like this one Triumph routine that I got. It's just with a deck, but it fools everyone, every magician I show it to, every layman, no doubt. It's just a real head spinner because there's loads of layers to it, but it's so fucking boring, and I can't. No matter what I do, I cannot spice it up. Even if I was David Williamson, the funniest, most entertaining magician on earth, I don't think there's a way to do it, and it sucks because it's one of the most baffling tricks I've ever created, but it's just so goddamn boring. that it'll never see the light of day. Like it'll never be put anywhere, because I would feel bad like putting this, like you said, it's a puzzle.
And that ends up in time. I mean, look, dude, you can see the companies that have done that or the creators that have done that. The industry is too honest at this point, right? If I put something out that is subpar, even friends of mine, Craig Petty, we're good friends, but the first time I put something crap out, he's going to let me know. I know that. He'll call me and say, just so you know, I am going to review this, and I'm just going to be honest in the review.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one, right? There's Magic Orthodoxy. He doesn't bullshit, right? He'll just tell you how the thing is. He doesn't care if it's good or bad. And the goal is that if I send anything I've ever put out to those people, that initially they're, oh, that's kind of neat. And then they dive into the project itself and go, once again, over-delivered, that's really it. And I think the people who have done that time and time again, if Dave Bonzel puts out a new product of his own with his name on it, you'll pay attention, right?
Yeah.
Because if Craig Filsetti puts out a project with his name on it, you're going to pay attention. Because you might not use it, might not like it, but whatever is being advertised is fairly advertised, is worked in the real world, and will actually work as advertised. That's all, it's a challenge. I get it. Why would someone buy a cups and balls from me and then have to go to Penguin to get their sponge balls, Invisible Deck, and all the other refill stuff, right? It's much easier for someone to buy from their favorite magic shop than to buy direct from us.
Yeah.
The only way to combat that is to go exclusive. I don't have enough people who know who I am or care about my projects to go exclusive. Or you become, here's our products, and then here's everything else that you can buy as well. It's Felix and I. We don't have the manpower to do that, right? We can't be a magic shop that has 1,600 items on it. It just isn't in our capacity. So, our challenge right now is educating people on the importance of really supporting us directly. And it blows my mind. People will write daily, oh, I love supporting your stuff. I just got this, and this. And I'm like, I didn't see any sales come through. Oh, no, I got it from Vanishing. And it's like, oh. And you can't say to them, that's not really supporting us, because it is, right? But it's also, you have to educate them on, we make $11 if you buy from them. And that $11 goes into basically the expense. We make $29 if you buy from us. So it's a challenging road to try and be an independent creator with your own company if you're not doing it like Brent Braun, right? Brent Braun, you can buy anything you want from brick and mortar magic shop. And my hat's off to him. I know him and his wife are crazy busy and always working, but that's both of their full-time jobs. Brent consults and stuff as well, where Felix, my partner's, he's a friggin' like a master innovation specialist that consults for massive corporations all over the world.
What the hell?
That's his real job. And in the spare time he has from being a father and an innovation consultant and a husband, we get what we can get done. So it was a long year and a half to get to here, but the whole time our goal was to get to this point to where we could launch the cups and balls and then take this year and do a lot of in-person lectures. I want to do a lot of lectures at conventions. I have a really cool project coming out called Connections. And the whole point of Connections is, this is going to sound super arrogant, but a lot of times people I trust when I'll ask for feedback of my show is that you're just so personable. You're such a great speaker and you're so personable. So it's really about what it is I'm doing to make that impression. I'm not really, people who know me know I have a very small circle of friends and I'm pretty introverted in real life.
That's a Barnum statement.
What's that?
That's a Barnum statement. It's one of those things you say to people that, you know what I mean? I know. Well, but I always tell people the story about you when we were in, I always say you are just the epitome of a personable performer. I must have told this story 3-4 times on this channel alone, where we were in New York and you needed to borrow a fucking plug socket, like a charging plug or something, or a cup. So you walk down the street and you're
cup. We needed a cup.
We needed a cup, wasn't it? And you walked into the hotel lobby. And then the next thing, you were just performing for the fucking whole hotel in the lobby. And then it's I need to borrow a phone charger. You went in somewhere else, and it was this was just a normal day, and you were suddenly just popping up doing live shows essentially in lobbies and foyers of places on a Tuesday morning. That would.
I mean, that's a different energy, right? That's with the homies. We're all magic homies out doing magic things, and that's more like I'm in that energy.
Yeah, but you were like, oh yeah, but you'd done it on your own. You went down like, oh guys, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. An hour later, you come back. You're like, oh, I just fucking perform. And then as we go out, the people are like, oh yeah, it's the guy this magician that did a whole show. It's like
I mean,
you've got to be personal.
I still will do. If I'm on a plane and someone goes, what was that? Oh, I'm a magician. Great, I got them for the whole ride, right? I can show magic. But I'm talking more about the like, what is it about, what can you do on stage that makes people want to connect with you after the show, right? There's a million magicians and 900,000 of them are better than I am. So I need them to want me. And there are a few things that I've learned sort of throughout my career and life that help with that. With being a keynote speaker, there's a lot of things that you can do to try and win an audience. And it's really, what are those? They're not lofty theoretical things. They're simple things. If you ask someone their name and then repeat their name, watch Penn and Teller and their real show. Watch Penn when he has somebody up on stage. Count in your head how many times he says their name. It'll blow your mind. He'll say their name anywhere from 15 to 40 times in a show, over and over. And if you pay attention to it, it's like, good Lord. That is such a cool trick to do because it first helps you remember their name. But if someone does that to you over and over in a conversation and continues to say your name, it makes you feel drawn to them. It's indescribable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Lloyd? So, and just over and over, it's like, man, he's really into this. He really cares about me. So that project is really tying into the idea. So the point I was trying to make is that this whole year's lecture is the best of the best from the Penguin lecture that won the lecture.
Yes, dude, we need to talk about that. I voted for you, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I sent you a screenshot to prove it.
I was over the moon. I mean, even getting nominated was dope. I'll be honest. I thought Mario was a good buddy. Mario the Maker. Love Mario. Yeah. And I thought his lecture was in 2021. So when I did my lecture, I knew they had the awards, and I was like, hopefully I'll get nominated because there's no way I'm beating Mario. Mario's lecture is the best Penguin lecture that's ever been done. He is a genius. His energy is on a level of nobody else. I love him. I love that guy and his family and everything they're doing. So in my head, I'm like, there's no way. I'm not going to win this. I'm against Mario. If I'm nominated, dope. Then I got nominated and saw the other nominees and was like, okay, this is rigged because Mario's not even nominated. So then I realized he did 2020 and won 2020. So at that point, I was like, ooh, wait a minute. I could actually win. So
wait. So you looked at the other nominees and were like, oh, I could win this.
I didn't even look. Well, I did.
I'm just fucking.
I'm golden. Because in my head, the whole time, I was like, I'm just going to do my best, but I won't. Even before the lecture, I was like, hey, maybe I'd win lecture of the year. No, Mario's doing it, so I'll just do my best. But there's some damn good lectures. ECAT's lecture is great. Caleb Weil's lecture is great. I mean, everyone I was up against was great. It was, can I get people to vote for me, right? So I just put some feelers out.
I was pretty confident you'd win it because, man, we've been around the world together. I've seen you lecture. You have I watched that Penguin lecture specifically, and I text you while I was watching your Penguin lecture.
Awesome. I still have that text. I saved it.
Yeah, dude. It was everything I expected from you and 10 times more at the same time because I know that you're a solid lecturer, so you only teach like really fucking worked material and you're very polished in your performance. But you also had a bunch of new stuff, which I guess you've been working on for the past like 2-3 years, which like totally roundhouse kicked me in the head. Because I always knew you. I think I said this to you, but I always knew you were a fucking creative beast. Obviously, you wrote the fucking book on creativity, but it's almost like there was a fucking limited edition, first run, unpublished piece that you like a version of it where it was all this new stuff as well. So when I watched the lecture, then I seen you were asking people to vote for you if they'd seen it and they enjoyed it. I was like this lecture shocked me. And I've seen a lot, dude. So it was totally.
The whole goal was the over-deliver, right? Even after the lecture, give them PDFs that they can then use or whatever. I think if you over-deliver, right? underwhelm and over deliver. So underwhelm in the marketing and the I hate hype, which is probably why, we struggle to get people to buy from us direct. I don't like hype. I don't like marketing. I don't like selling. I'm a firm believer that if you do really good stuff for the right reason, it will end up coming out. The masses will gravitate towards it, whereas that's probably wrong, right?
I love a good hype campaign, but not so much the hype. I love an exciting bit of marketing where whether you're the one marketing it or you're the person being sold to, if it just makes you feel like excited about the project, like I like that. I hate being sold to, but I do like it when you're just sort of like, when a movie's coming out, which you're going to see, they don't need to sell you on going to get tickets, but they're just trying to give you as much like exciting information about it and show you all the cool shit they film behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's the type of marketing that I like, because it's like, yes, I know I like the project already. I'm in, and I'm just getting like my appetite wet. Like that's the marketing I like, as opposed to deceptive, fucking hypey.
No, and I get the game. The hype game is fun, and we both worked at E. We get it first and foremost. It's an important part of the game, especially in Magic. I don't think I'm not good at filming. I don't edit well.
Yeah.
So I think it's because I know my skill sets don't lie in that if it was like, hey, here's a team that's going to hype Cups and Balls, market, Pete McKinnon is flying to New Hampshire and he's going to film it and do a hype campaign. Great. Awesome. Let's roll with it. But for me, the building of it, that's not the way my brain works, right? I could never be a marketer because I don't think that way, right? So it's always been a challenge, but I do believe that as long as you put good work out and you stand behind it, it always ends up paying off. You see this slow trajectory of growth, right? And it's like, I would rather someone hear me from their buddy going, oh, you didn't know Volpine was a thing? Dude, just go look at the stuff they have. Buy anything and you'll like it. As opposed to someone seeing a trailer and going, wow, is that like getting so hyped up that you under-deliver on the product?
That's when it gets dangerous in the hype game, where they in their mind they think they're gonna buy real Magic.
Exactly.
I went through that. Remember that change project?
Quantum Deck's a perfect example. People thought this was gonna be real Magic, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's panties got in a twist because a magician can't. Okay, so who fucking cares? Are you getting paid from magicians?
Yeah.
And if you aren't, great. You just want to show it to your magician friends
who've all seen it, who've already seen it. Yeah.
It's like they really wanted it to be Magic. Same with Grandfather's Top. The non-magicians that see it and then buy it go, it's just string. It's like, well, what did you really think it was? Like,
dude, I think
$40. Did you think it was some magnetic electronic top that like used? What do you expect, man?
Well, do you remember that trick that my first big release at E was called Change? With the lenticular cards, and I remember thinking as we got closer and closer to my whole thing about that was that I was sick of everyone used flap gimmicks to change stuff. So it was more like hey, you can do something different, and if you step outside your comfort zone. And I remember thinking like, this is super cool. We could sell thousands of them if it was just like, hey, check this out, it's great. And then the bright idea came along to call it, like, say it's going to change Magic forever and make it like this whole revolution. I remember thinking as the hours ticked down and then the minutes and the seconds to the launch, I remember thinking, this is a complete clusterfuck. Like, this has been done. And then it went out and people were they seen the visuals. They thought it was real Magic. They bought them by the thousands. Remember the factory closed down. That's how many sold. And then people got it, were like, it's not real Magic. It's like, yeah, but
the backlash of people saying this isn't going to change Magic. It's like, well, what really is? Do you get that this is a hype train? Like,
yeah,
But for me, I said to Felix from day one, we're up against a pretty big mountain. He lives in Austria. He does all of our filming and edits and photos. I live in New Hampshire. Like, I think our first trailer for Grandfather's Top was 100% done with us being on opposite sides of the world. I filmed some stuff here. He edited it, and it's just, all it is talking about what the product is. Here's some visuals of it happening. I don't think there's any live performances. There might have been one or two, but it was just the goal being, hey, we sell magic tricks. Here's the magic trick we're selling. And to try and give that in the trailer. Here's what you're going to get. Here's how much it costs. and here's some of the highlights, benefits, and features. It's against what every other illusionist or Vanishing Ink or other Murphy's trailer would do, because we don't really have the capability, first and foremost, but more so, we're not marketers first and foremost, right? That's not what we do. I'm a creator and he's an innovation specialist who can make beautiful videos, but English isn't even Felix's first language, and he's editing videos to an English audience, essentially, mainly. So it's just, I think our real push is to just try and put the products out and let the products speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And that takes a while. We sold well over 3,000 Grandfather's tops, but it took a while to get there, right? It started getting to magic shops, and then they were getting feedback. And that Gaff Lighter project's been out for over a month now. And I'm just now getting people going, dude, my friend had this. Is this for sale? That's how bad our marketing is. Wow. We have people, this has been out for over a month, and people still don't know it exists until a buddy of theirs shows it to them, and now they want it. So I think the nice thing about that is it's evergreen, right? You're always going to have that people stumbling upon you, but
your products have integrity behind them, which is your products have integrity behind them.
I use them, right? I invent stuff that I want to use. Every time I go to a show, I'm using a handful of the products that we sell on Volpine. I never leave without my lighters, without in case of emergency. I'd say 30% of the time I'll do this. And now with the cups and balls, I'm closing almost every show I do. I do a week in the Magic Castle, May 2nd through 8th. I'm going back out, and I'm going early close-up room so I can close with this.
Nice.
So I'm inventing them because I use them, right? I would love to say for the money, but we could show you our statement. We made no money.
No,
right?
I mean, people just looking at Volpine on the surface of it, compared to like both me and you know, we've been in a position where quantity over quality, right? But how many releases have you had in the last 3 years? Lighter, like a handful, compared to 5 releases in like 3 years. That's just over 1 release a year, 1.4 a year.
Last year was our biggest year. And we did In Case of Emergency, Gaff Lighter, Genesis, and What, Where, When, Why Wallet. The year before that was Grandfather's Top, and now with Cups and Balls, I have 7 products. I mean, they're literally sitting right here, ready to go.
Yeah.
If we had the money, we could pull the trigger, go to production, and 7 products. All have been tested for at least 6 months, either on virtual or in person. All are scripted, all are prototyped to the perfection and done. We're not going to release anything probably for a year, because my goal is to push this in in-person lectures and at conventions and stand behind the library we have now. Yeah. I think if you do too much, especially as an independent creator, you confuse your audience. It's like, I love everything you're doing, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah, it's also it's like, if you do too much, you could say, oh, this is something I do in every walk-around routine. And then they're like, right, well, what? So you're doing 30 different things in every fucking walk-around routine. Like, you could just see through the bullshit. And we've literally been there where quantity is all that mattered. Now, I've had 1 release in 2 years. Cognito. That's the only thing I've put out. And super proud of it, because there's no constraints.
And the proof's in the pudding, as they say, right? Look at how many people bought it. Look at how many people love it. It's clear it wasn't a rushed out project.
And then the next thing I've got coming out is that thing I showed you at Blackpool. So that's like a 6 months after Cognito. There's just, you know, when you put the time, like you can see.
So is that coming out? Have you guys figured anything out with that?
Yeah.
Is it going to come out? Is it going to be something I can buy?
I'll send you one now.
Done.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about, but this is all I'm talking about you today. In the meantime, we have so many comments, and I feel like our streamers might think that we're doing.
Yeah, sorry. Anyone who's watching, thank you for being here, and I'm sorry I just spent 25 minutes pushing.
No. We're going to come back to it right now, but I want to just catch up on the comments so the guys know that we are not pre-recorded. We are live. We got.
And real quick, Felix wants me to say hi to you as well.
Oh, Felix, man. It was amazing to meet you at Blackpool. Meeting you was one of my highlights. You're just such a warm person. Thank you for being awesome. But Midge says, that was so damn good at Blackpool. This is way back in the comments about the cups and balls. Cups and beans. Coffee, cups and beans. Sakura Game says, hey Lloyd, your videos have brought me back to Magic. Wow. Glad awesome. I can help, dude. Like, Magic is the best thing in the world. Ben Matthew says, looks awesome. I don't do a chop cut routine yet, but this looks interesting.
Wait till you see Tom Wright and Michael O'Brien's chop cup routine on it. Michael O'Brien has this super cool thing where they're holding the cup and it feels like the bean appears in their hand. He did it to me at Blackpool and I was like, oh, do it again, dude. It's really cool. It's a really cool moment.
Marcus J said, this is even more amazing than I had in mind. I think this is when you opened the cups, the awesome. Setup. And he said, that's one hell of a comprehensive set of props. Damn, I'm excited. Dawisi says, hi. King of Cake said, could you use the coffee beans for sponge ball routines?
No, they're not spongy. So no, because as soon as you put 2 in the spectator's hand, they'll feel that there's 2. So they're hard.
Yeah,
they've got some weight to them, so they're not spongy at all. They're a little bit squishy, but you couldn't pull off a sponge routine with it.
That's a good point to know. Joey Miner says, hey guys, you two are currently my favorite Magic YouTube channels. Yeah, double team.
Amazing, very cool.
I hope Adam keeps it up since his views haven't gotten there yet. His content is top notch and he deserves more followers. That's true.
Thank you.
You are the most informative guy.
Our whole purpose is to put stuff out, but also Felix is learning to be a magician, and we're just documenting that journey. If no one ever watches it, okay. If 5-10 people watch it, I get 5 messages a week of people that like it. And like I said, if it ends up growing into something great, awesome. If not, it's doing what we'd be doing anyway, just documenting it. So to hear that someone's getting something out of it means the world. I'm
with you 100% on that. Remember years we both talked about starting YouTubes, like when Pete was doing it and like Madison, Ramsey, all the boys. And every time same as what you just said, every time I went to go and do it, it was always with the goal of doing a YouTube to have it as like my job. Yep. And then like in December, I was chatting with Craig and I just like, man, it's so fun. Like the way he's doing it is just fun and passionate, and Magic has always been my business. And I realized I'd lost my...
Your channel is great.
Well, this is the thing. I'm only doing it for fun because for the first time I'm doing it not business related. So it's just like what I would be doing, like exactly what you said, what I would be doing at home anyway. I'm like you. We just sit there, create, and we film shit to send to our friends. Like that's what we've always done. And because I've got like a little format to make of it, it's like a little passion project. And the moment I stopped thinking about it in any sort of goal is when it feels like it's just right. And
our goal was, we don't know how to market. We're terrible at marketing. We can't afford to hire a marketer. So let's just put it out on YouTube, not monetize. If we have advice to give people, we'll just say, look, if you want to support us, go to Volpine Creations. That's all the advertising we'll do. Moving on.
Or book us for a lecture.
So it's very clear. The only reason we're doing it is to draw traffic to our site. There's never an ad on our videos, so people know that we're not doing it to try and make money off of it. That's, that's very hard to do. To be a magician with a channel, even Ramsey, he started with Magic, but his real boom came once he branched out, did puzzles and stuff. It's just very hard to get a channel about Magic where you're getting 1.5 million views per video.
Yeah.
And if you try, you're probably going to fall in line of that sort of social media.
Sell your soul to the devil sort of thing.
Great. They're killing it. Let them do their thing. But I don't have that.
No,
I don't have that.
I was talking to my wife and I said, it's so liberating. Like the moment I just sat back and was like, I'm doing this YouTube channel purely for passion because there's it's just you're not gonna, because I'm only gonna dedicate it to Magic. I have no interest, like you, I have no fucking interest in anything else. And with that in mind, this is the niche of niches, like creating magic trick YouTube channel. This is never gonna get like 100,000 followers. And the moment I resigned to that, I was like, okay, now it can be everything that I want it to be and no pressure to try and make it successful because it's just going to be pure passion and it feels so much more right now than ever.
Absolutely. Before. I can get on. I did a show. Something came up in the show. I think nothing of it. But then, wait, this could actually help 20, 30, 100 people out there. So I'll just film a quick video, Adam's Insights, and say, hey, I just filmed one talking about what you should do at the end of a show. And the reason I did that is because I was at the end of a show and I couldn't find the event person and it ended up biting me in the ass. So it was more of like, hey, this is something that you have to do before you leave a show. I had 3 people reach out and go, dude, I never thought of that. Great. Even a kid commented on the video with another awesome piece of advice. And he's like, I don't mean to step on toes. No one's here to listen to me. Dude, that's great advice. Thank you. Like, awesome, man. That's something I didn't think of. That kind of stuff is community, right? It's not about me being cool, me being so awesome that you should watch my videos. I don't have that in me. Pete McKinnon has that naturally. He's a cool kid that can film cool. Same with Ramsey. That's not me, right? I'm just, all I can do is talk about the stuff I know. And if I try and pretend that I'm cool and make my, do a slow motion shot of me walking down the street before the intro, it comes off as non-authentic. Authentic.
Authentical? Authenticated.
But again, my goal, honestly, is to just be as authentic as I can, put out magic I can stand behind, and not be as a magic company where you put something out, fucking great, man. Good on you, dude. Thank you. That's going to sell for a month, so what's for next month?
Yeah.
Now I can take that I'm proud of and say, oh, for next month, I'm going around to Chicago to show this, and then to Florida. Like, there's a lot of my life in this. I'm not just going to launch it and forget about it, right? And I can do that now because I'm not tied into a machine. The downside is...
You're not tied into a machine.
Again, being authentic, I've never been broker in my life, right? I've never been in a more dire financial situation, but that's fine because I know at some point the work will catch up, right? The amount of work that's out there will catch up to the masses to pay attention, and then the snowball starts running downhill.
But even if it doesn't, you've got your soul is in it. And you can be happy.
And in 10 years from now, I can look back at that project and go, yep, I can pick it up right now and still be proud of this thing.
But every day you get to create magic and you're beholden to no one, right? Like that's the true...
Felix and I have a conversation. Great. Can we afford it? Is it practical? Can we do it? Let's go, right? No team calls, no convince the guys, no, it's too much to... I mean... Just about any magic company that you brought this to, if you weren't doing it yourself, would be like, no, there's no money to be made there. That's way too expensive. It's too small of a market. It's already a niche market. Now you're going to people who do cups and balls in that market. But again, for the next 10 years, I can have this, be proud of it. And anytime I show it to people, know that it's like, I put everything I possibly could have into this thing. It's either if you're going to do the cups and balls, you'd be happy to buy this. If you're not, okay, no harm, no foul, but at least I can stand behind it. And that feels damn good, right? That feels really good to be able to pull anything that I've created at Volpine out right now, demo it, and feel good about it,
Yeah. So let me get back in some comments so we can keep up with everyone. Nigel Quinn says, just need to add a levitating coffee bean to hit all the magic principles.
Just wait.
Fuck! Oh shit! Okay, say no more. Midge says, no worries about missing the call, Lloyd. I was passing KFC and thought of you. Thanks, buddy. Nigel says, $250 is a steal. Will some UK stockets hold it, or is Murphy's distributed? And I hear Adam will be a guest on a future Prop Dog Live.
Let me answer that real quick. We stock UK. We have domestic shipping in all of Europe. So that's one thing we need. Again, we shit at marketing, but from day one, we have a local domestic shipping for all of the EU and the United States. Felix lives in Austria, so all of his shipping is EU-based, which means we can domestic ship anywhere in the UK, Germany, Russia, wherever.
Look at my dog right now. Can you see my dog? He just sauntered in here. Where's my camera? I can't see my camera. You see him? He just sauntered in here and then laid down so I can rub his tummy. Look, hi Charlie. Look at this guy.
Aww.
Hi, Charlie.
What is that's a poodle?
It's a Cavapoo, so it's a Cavalier Spaniel cross with a poodle.
Oh.
I had two, but one died.
Oh, I know. I heard. I'm sorry.
Damn.
My dog Kaya is 13 and on medicine, and
on her way out.
There. She's got heart failure, so it's like I don't even want to think about that. But
dude, I grieved so hard when Pixel died. Like, I was a mess.
You won't see me for a solid week anywhere.
Yeah, I literally, I went black for a week. I was crying in the shower. I was like,
I have her tattooed over my heart, man. Like, she's the one thing that's been there through everything I've gone through. Like, She's my homie.
Yeah. Well, mine died. Anyway, right. Let me carry on with the comments. We've got so many comments coming here.
So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. First and foremost, Murphy's is the reason this project came to life. Without Murphy's, this wouldn't be here. And my hat is off to them. You know, I don't have to toot your horn, but they're fucking awesome over there. So they will have it all over the world. But also, again, if you're in the EU at all, please check us out on Volpine, because we do have domestic shipping for you as well.
See, I didn't know that, man.
And you're one of my close friends.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're close. I didn't fucking know that. I just found that out now.
That's what I mean. We're so inundated in product development, everything else we have to do, that it's like the marketing we know we're not great at. And we've tried a couple of things. I'll be honest, one thing we're going to try and do is a YouTube video. And just basically say, hey, you may know me from, list some of the inventions I've done, and then be like, I've got my own magic company now. I would love for you to check it out. Head over there and just see if we can get, because even at Blackpool, people were coming up to me going, oh, I thought you worked at E. I'm like, really? It's been 3 years almost, and 2 years I've had my own company, which is what I'm standing in the booth of.
Yeah.
So
I get it too. I did a fucking YouTube video when I left. I was like, yo, like, done. Quit that place. And even people at Blackpool were like, yeah, so I want to bring this out. It's a download. It's for like 14-year-olds, so it's like a perfect thing for E. And I was like, great. Why are you talking to me? They're like, because you work there? I was like, fucking don't.
But I think if we're trying to figure it out, I think you can advertise YouTube videos to a specific, if they're searching for magic, or even, let's say they're watching Chris Ramsey's channel or Alex Pandrea's. I can target that, so quickly do something funny where I'm like, you're going to hit that button, right? Like, don't hit the button. Give me a second. Hopefully they know me from something I've released, and then just quickly in 30 seconds be like, I now have my own magic company, some amazing stuff there. Please do check it out. Thanks for your time. And if we can get people there, normally the people that didn't know we exist, I'll see the order come in, and it's literally everything on the site. And I'll message them directly or call them and go, hey, did you just find out about I had my own company? Every single time they go, I had no idea. I bought everything there. It's like, okay, so it's working, except for the fact that nobody knows it exists. All right, now we know what challenge we've got. How do we fix it, you know?
Yeah. So, more comments. Marcus says, the pricing is more than reasonable for what you're getting. Broken down is fantastic value for money. Here's a really good question from MT. Hi, I bought your trick, what, where, when, why wallet, which I think is one of my favourite tricks from Blackpool that I've seen. I've said that multiple times. English notes will not work in my country. Can I pick up blank cards and make notes in my own language?
Absolutely, 100%. So when I first did that for the first year when I was road testing it, I just used blank cards and I bought stickers from Walmart with letters. And because I have horrible handwriting, but absolutely, blank cards will do the exact same thing. So you know what? Well, it probably wouldn't help you out, but yeah, you can either print on blank playing cards through a printer, but what I suggest is getting thin stickers and, just lining it up, and then absolutely, you can, I think you need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, you need 4 blank face cards. 4 blanked back cards. So my suggestion is you can buy decks that are blank back decks and then blank face decks. Buy one of each, and then you've got it. You can also, what I've done is instead of what, where, when, why, for corporate, I've used their 4 catchphrases, right? So the 4 messages they wanted for that event, I put stickers on that, and then I re-themed the presentation to go, instead of them going what, where, when, why, it was, oh, don't forget, and then as I turn it over, I get the corporate.
Never eat yellow snow.
Or anything. For this one, it was connected, compassion. It was 4 C's, but it was the brand of their event, right? This was the topic. And I just did that. Dude, they ate it up. They thought I went to US playing card and got special things. Wow. I spent an hour putting stickers on cards, but to them, that personalization was awesome. So you could, if it's a birthday, you could do the date, names. You can change it any way you want, but just get blank back deck and a blank face deck, and you'll have more than you'll need.
Okay, next question is from the same guy, MT. That's M for Michael, T for turnips. When will color prediction appear, and how much will it cost? This thing.
So full transparency, we have no money to fund it right now. So until we sell some cups and balls, I'll tell you what we need. We need $17,500 to produce the thing before shipping and before a few other handfuls of stuff. So we are, I say we're zeroed out at Bullpine, which we've never been before. So until we sell that we're just waiting for funding on it. We could probably go to Murphy's and they would fund it again, but we're trying to stop doing that because it isn't the direction we want to go. We want to be able to fund ourselves. So retail price is going to be $99. You're going to get all 4 wallets.
Fuck, that's good. Four wallets.
All 4 wallets.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know tricks out there right now that are $60, $70 for 1 wallet, and you get 4. I've seen it in the flesh. You fooled me with this. You fooled all of us with this.
It's 10 minutes on stage, right? It's 10 minutes of really fooling magic that can be customizable. I've also used that.
So tell people what the routine, just the overall routine is, like the effect.
Yep, it's a chair test without chairs. So you come out with 4 colored wallets, brightly colored wallets, red, blue, green, and yellow. Talking about color psychology, which is intriguing to audiences because a lot of people don't know, for instance, fast food restaurants use red for a reason. Red will entice hunger in you. If you sit down at a lot of fast food restaurants, there's usually yellow at the tables, which makes you uneasy. So you get hungry, you buy the food, you sit down, the yellow makes you uneasy, so you eat quickly and move. There's a whole script that goes along with that. So you're holding the wallets up, and when you open the wallet, for instance, if you open the wallet like this, well, let me get these out. Let's say this is the blue wallet. You would open it like this and say the blue wallet has a blue slip of paper, the yellow has a yellow. So long and short, you ask a gentleman what color. He picks blue, he pulls out the blue slip and holds on to it. 3 left, the woman picks blue or red, she pulls the red slip. There's 2 left, green and red. So I'm holding these, and it's such a pretty image on stage because I've got the 2 wallets and the 2 slips of paper, and I'm asking the last person, which one for you, which one for me? They pick that one. That leaves me with one, and I say, look, I'm a magician, so I'm not ignorant to the fact that if I read this, you may all question that. So you look trustworthy, you read it for me, and they hold my slip. The first person, and there's build up in comedy here, but the first person, I say, great, free choice, you guys could have changed your mind, open your slip, what does it say? And his says, I will pick blue. Thank you very much, 1 for 1. Moving down the line, I will pick red. And now I'm starting to go, you guys seem very underwhelmed. You not, okay, third, and I will pick green, and no one's clapping, and they're looking at you like you're an idiot, and you go, what is wrong with you people? They all had free choices. My fault. You haven't seen the end. The end's the best part, because you left me with yellow. You've been holding my yellow slip. What does that say? The yellow slip says the man will pick blue, the woman will pick red, the person in glasses will pick green, leaving me with yellow. So it's essentially a chair test without chairs. But also, Martin Lewis has an effect called color something with 3 colored envelopes. It's the same exact premise. Gentlemen pick an envelope, lady pick an envelope. Here's the slip inside of that envelope. That leaves me with this one. What's yours say? I will pick yellow, I will pick blue. And then his slip says, man will pick yellow, woman will pick blue, leaving me with green. And I like it, but as I performed it in the real world, people were savvy to what was going on. It wasn't enough outs and possibilities for my liking. And I knew if I could add another person and another option, now there's no way that you can, that's 28 or 26 outs to be able to accomplish everything with 3 people making 4 choices, right? There's no way, people can't think like that. I also had mentalists go, how did you get from 26 outs to the 1 that quickly? Because this is it. It's this. Boom. That's it. That's what they see. So even mentalists that know it's obviously something to do with outs are like, how are you doing it so fast? Which is what I love.
From what I remember, right, this is like no brain work. It's very...
Dude, if you can read a stoplight red, yellow, green, you can do the trick.
Yeah, that's what I remember when you showed me at Blackpool. It fried us all because it's just like you said. There's no way you can have that many outs, and somehow you did. And then you showed us the method, and it was like, oh, you fucking evil genius! Like it's so brilliant. That's the brilliant part. It really, really is.
Showing magicians the method's my favorite part. Doing it, they're like, what the? All right, where'd the outs come from? Are you palming something in? And then you show it to them, and they're just like, damn it. You know, I love it. But, you know, we need about 20 grand realistically to get that in. So hopefully sometime this year, but no set date as of now. It's done. It's been road tested. I have probably 5 more performances on stage. My close-up routine is perfect. I'm happy with it. I need about 5 more stage performances to really iron out the presentation to where it's hitting everything I need. And then it's 100% done. It's just, it's about 80% now. I'm getting most of the lines and the hits I want, but I need a little bit more work on the scripting before it's something I can genuinely say.
I love the honesty, man. I love the honesty on it. Well, let me jump into some comments. Big Ann Bro says, hey, how are you? And he says, do we read the chat too? So, Yep, we do. Hello. Let me ask you this question. Anthony Povey says, Craig said on his Q&A today that he has something coming out with Adam. Do you know when this will be?
I don't. It's again, you know, I'm not bullshitting on the fact that we're very stocked on inventory, but because of that, we have no room to develop new products until we sell through our inventory. What Craig is bringing out with us is crazy dope. He's going to be the first outside artist we work with. And again, the goal of Volpine is that you don't put this shit in your drawer. This will go into my scrolling set. I will bring this in my wallet everywhere I go, and it's awesome. I don't want to say too much because then it's just teasing for something that's not even close. But yes, we're doing something with Craig, and it's going to be a close-up worker's dream. A really cool update of a classic that's awesome. So yeah, don't know when though.
There's your answer. King OK says, Lloyd, when will you do a Penguin live? Adam, when will you do another one?
Great question. Lloyd? When will you do a Penguin live? People would eat that up, dude.
I would just bore people to death. My YouTube channel is basically a lecture. I teach everything I have. I don't know. One day, I know Tim Troner's asked me to do it before and things, but...
Are you allowed to with Murphy's? What's your contract with them? Would they care?
I don't know. I've never asked.
I doubt they care. It's not like...
I'm really thinking about lectures. I got asked to do a lecture tour in Australia. I've been asked to do so many, and I only ever turn... My thing is this with lectures. You know me, I'm an all or nothing bloke. I want it to be like the biggest, best fucking lecture you've ever seen. And for me to do that, I would have to like negate so much of my other stuff that I got going on, because I would give it like 100 million %.
You also have a full-time job at the world's largest magic
company. Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I create magic full time. So I just couldn't...
The only reason I could do the Penguin was because I wasn't with E anymore. And it's not to say... I've talked to Brad, and Brad would have let me do a Penguin lecture even at E. But it's more so, like you said, man, that's not something you throw together, right? That's 6 months of work to
immortalized. Yeah, and if it, like, I want it to be like almost as I could now compete with yours, but like if it wasn't like a try to get to that standard, and I'd have to like you said, it's like 6 months of work to do it properly, and I'd hate to go on and half-ass one.
Yeah.
So probably if I ever get free time. But Adam, when will you be doing another one? Is the question.
Yeah, I am. I've got the connections, right? So there's a new lecture I already have that's 90% done. I don't know if I'll do that at Penguin. I mean, my goal is to do it in person, because every time I'm in person, I can put a face to the name, demo the product, walk them through it, and they buy it, right? It's just a drastic difference between online. So even a Penguin lecture online, I'm not in person. I'm not in front of people having a conversation. And I really want that. I want this year to be about me going in front of people and saying, hey, I'm Adam. Here's my stuff. Please ask me anything you have. And just like conventions, Blackpool, Magic Live, all those things, you sell so much more because you're putting that face to the name. Even when we were at E, you know that. You'd go to a place and people would be like, man, I hated Illusionists, but you guys are actually really cool. That's just because we had an actual conversation with the person. Yeah. And that's what I want this year to be. So maybe this year, maybe next year, but I'll definitely be doing another one.
Question slightly off topic, but and like I don't want numbers, but did Blackpool, was it worth your while going?
Yeah, we made our money. I mean, we didn't sell cups and balls there.
Yeah.
We sold 4 or 5 pre-sales because we didn't start even demoing it to the last day.
Yeah.
But everything else, I mean, we'd demo it and it would sell. But all of our products, they're $25 or $40.
I'm only asking because if it was worth your while, then hopefully it means you're going to be at a lot more conventions.
100%. Right? We're doing every Magic convention we can possibly get.
Magic Live?
We tried. You know what we were going to do? We were going to set up a booth that was a coffee shop and have someone handing out coffee with Volpine coffee, paper cups, and me literally every 15 minutes just doing my routine, doing the cups and balls routine. They're on a waiting list, so it's not looking good for this year.
Shit.
Even D. Christopher was like, "Oh, I might not go." I was like, "We'll buy your booth." And he reached out and asked, and they were like, "Nope, you cannot transfer booths. We have a waiting list, so, you know, we won't be at Magic Live." But now that the Penguin Lecturer of the Year was announced, I'm doing every Magic convention I can find and reaching out to them and just saying, "Hey, can I please lecture at your convention? I have a brand new awesome lecture."
Well, there's FISM coming up, right?
They're booked. Can't do FISM. But there's about 12 that I found on a website that I'm going to reach out to. And hopefully if they're looking for an extra lecturer, then I can go lecture and ideally get a booth as payment. Right?
Any interest in locations, like countries?
Illinois, Italy was one in Italy that I'd really like to go to.
Is that Masters of Magic?
Yep.
Yeah, I've done that. That's a good one. It's a weird one.
It's really the reach out. Next week is about reaching out to them all. Most of them probably have all their lecturers booked, but I'm hoping that a handful might know my name and be like, "Oh, we'll squeeze you in. That's great." You know, so I don't know. But the goal is as many in-person, like definitely worth it. And especially once we have the cups and balls to actually sell, it'll be worth. I mean, if we sell 5 cups and balls, that pays for the expenses of the lecture. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or of the travel. So yeah, it was great. We did really well. The feedback was good, and we didn't make any money realistically, but we paid for a 10-day trip from Austria and the US all the way to Blackpool to get our projects done and stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. But again, we weren't selling cups and balls there, which that's the most expensive thing we have to sell. So the next ones, hopefully, we'll do right and really focus on that.
Yeah. Okay, so more things coming in. Marcus says, have not heard anyone say a single negative thing regarding anything Volpina has released. All my favorite creators and magicians only speak positive. So you're doing something right, Adam. Yeah, completely.
I mean, literally the entire mission is that
mission
even
accomplished.
The haters would have a really hard time talking down on they may hate me, but to genuinely and honestly talk bad about a product being price or tutorial not being there, gimmick not working, our goal is to make that a very hard thing to do.
Yeah. He says, Craig and David, brackets Magic Orthodoxy, my go-to channels for what's worth spending my money on. You keep good company, dude. Dal T says, is there a delay in your audio? I don't know. Maybe. I can't tell from here. Magic Nomadic says, I love what you're doing, Adam. Do you sell the coffee cups on your site?
Thank you very much. The support is really what it's all about. But yes, end of the month we will. Absolutely. We're pairing with Murphy's, and their launch schedule is set to be pre-order for Magic shops at the end of the month, and then shipping out, I believe, either the 2nd or 3rd of April.
Okay. 2nd or 3rd of April shipping out.
So pre-orders for Magic shops, because Murphy's... So we can't... Look at it at the end of this month. So beginning of April is when they'll be, because end consumers don't really care when the Magic shops are getting it, but when they'll start being launched will be the end of this month, early April. So April 2nd or 3rd, I believe.
Alex Bow says, just make sure Volpine has a good website. Apart from Illusionist, most Magic websites have been crap. Even Murphy's is crap to look through. Yeah,
but Murphy's is
Murphy's are overhauling their site. So I've spent a lot of time speaking with the developer. They're like they hear you loud and clear, and their software is 15 years old, and it's like because there's so much.
They also have tens of thousands of products on that.
Yeah, like you move one thing, everything collapses. So we're in the process. Don't you worry.
Exactly.
But Volpine, he's saying, make sure you guys have a good thing.
Go check it out. Let me know your feedback. But it's volpinecreations.com. It's it's a website. It's just
PT and JD. Is that That's not. No.
PD and JD?
Yeah. Jayde. That's not PD and Janice, is it? I don't know. I don't think so. Hey, Adam, I hear Caleb Morelli needs a job. Want to hire him?
I'd hire Kalen in a heartbeat. Kid's a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a genius.
If I had the money, hell yeah. Why not?
Marcus again says, I'll be the one-man hype man for the cups and beans. This is all your fault, Lloyd. My bank balance is already hating you.
Amazing.
Let me go here. There's so many comments here. Chris James says, I've been trying to push the Gafflighter project for a month. It's so great and a must-buy for any magician. Yeah. This has gone under the radar.
I appreciate all the feedback because I see the posts. Chris is a huge advocate and it really means a lot. You know, it's people like you that buy it and then just telling friends, hey, this is dope. Gafflighter just launched and there was no teaser, there was no plug, there was no, and the reality of that is we were neck deep in preparing for Blackpool, getting all this. So I swear by this, for $29, I still think it's one of the best values you could get off our site. But it was trickled out. I mean, it sold pretty well at Murphy's, but
I'm actually annoyed that you didn't put more advertising into it because it's so good.
It's one of those things though, so I'll be honest, if you buy, whatever, we're all friends here. If you buy cups and balls from us on Volpine, you're getting Gafflighter for free. That's one of the free incentives that you'll get from buying from us. So to me, it's again, one of those things that when people find the site and then see the trailer, holy shit, that's kind of cool actually. Magic Orthodoxy, he's got a review of it, so hopefully he'll do a review. We always do great sales once he reviews it. Craig will review it.
I didn't steal a copy off you at Blackpool. Because
Really?
I didn't get a copy of you at Blackpool. I would have bought one, but I didn't.
Well, give me your address. I got a little.
I'll buy one off the site, but I want to do it. I'll do it. You know, I do the weekly videos on Kaylee when I perform a new piece of magic to her, and then she says, like, honestly, if she's fooled,
I love that.
Well, we'll pick out the best one or the one that I think will fuck her up the most, and then I'll do that on the channel.
Awesome. I love the energy of you guys. It's just you can tell you actually like each other.
Yeah, we genuinely like each other. Yeah, that's the big one, right?
It's great.
So Alex Bow says, "Can I have one as well, please, Lloyd?" I don't know what he's asking. Can you just reiterate that? Pete and JD says, "What's your favorite?" This is for me. What's your favorite customer-made Cognito preset? I really like the snaps routine that somebody made using David Jonathan's snaps cards. That one's really, really powerful. And that's my favorite one, other than like the other things in there that come standard with it. But I love the snaps one because it fucks people right up. Also, some guy that I haven't had time to look at yet, but he's just made like an email confabulation that works with it. So from what I can see is that you email someone and say, don't open the email, then they think of anything. They never say it out loud. They never write it down. They never literally, you know what Cognito's strong point is when they check their email.
No way.
In there. Yeah, I haven't had time to sit down and go through it, but it's a free integration. So you just literally.
Oh, I love that, dude.
So that sounds great.
You have their email. You can follow back up with them. I'm a huge advocate of that, dude. If you get their email tied into a magic trick, wait 3 days, follow back up with them, you now have a new client, and they're on your email, and it's not sent to spam mail. That's brilliant, dude.
Yeah, well, have a look at it, man. And then the thing is with Cognito, the strong point is, it's they never say it out loud. They never write it down. To them,
dude, follow up with me with that. Once you dive into that, let me know.
Some guy posted it in the group, and I just haven't had time. Only like a few days ago. But yeah, I'll tag you in his post, and it sounds incredible.
Very cool.
All right.
I like that.
French Bullfrog says, practicing my new what, where, when, and why trick. This is mad.
Awesome, dude.
Massive
awesome.
capitals.
I'm dead serious. I open with that as my opener. I come out with this goofy lighter, right? Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah. The polar bear way.
That's how I start, right? I make the joke. They know I'm a dorky magician. I say, how much does a polar bear weigh? Oh, enough to break the ice. Hey, I'm the magician, Adam. Can I show you something? And I go right to what, where, when, why. Those are my 2 opening effects. And to me, it's the perfect interruption. And I use money in the what, where, when, why. So right as they've got their attention, I go, hey, can I show you something that uses some money? They're in. If they think they can win $100, they're in. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. And if you're still on here, have you played with the bonus routine at all? And is that something that you see yourself doing? I'm curious to that because I actually prefer the bonus routine in certain situations. So I'm curious if that's something you've tried yourself. I'm not sure who asked that question, but I think it was Bulldog or something.
French Bullfrog.
Right on.
Do you know what I love about that routine? Cause I say all the time, I fucking hate packet tricks. And then I see it, and I feel shit about this because you're my friend, so I should say it's good. But I actually, regardless of if it was you or a magician I didn't like, I genuinely like this. I seen a trick years ago. It was the princess card trick, but whoever did it, they did it where the card went blank, and then there was a whole thing, and I loved it. I was really young. I was like 12, 13, and I really fucking loved the trick. And it's those certain formative effects that you witness stick with you, and you have like an affinity with it. And then seeing this was like, oh shit, this is the version that I've wanted to do since then.
Awesome.
That would actually fit me, even though I don't do packet. Like I really, really liked it. Again, another thing under the radar, man.
And that was Justin Miller and I jamming during the pandemic.
He's a genius.
It happened. It was one of those happy accidents that wasn't overthought. It was just two people jamming together. He threw something out, I threw something out. We built off that. By the end of the jam session, we had that, and it was like, dude, I'm gonna go work this. This is dope.
Yeah.
And I haven't put it down since.
Yeah, it's serious, and you were just
what my packet trick was that will be with me for the rest of my life. And I'm with you. I'm not a huge advocate in packet tricks. They're great. I just don't do a lot of them.
Yeah.
Michael Skinner's 3-card Monty.
Oh fuck! I've seen this. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know. Yes, I've seen you perform this, right? A few times.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Malone has a really great handling of it. That, to me, for 3 cards that fit in your wallet, that is an absolute miracle. Takes very little practice.
Yeah. You
can focus just on the presentation, and it builds from, what? Get the fuck out. Like, it's so perfectly structured.
Yeah.
99% of packet tricks for the birds, but that thing I'll do to the day I die. It's so easy, and the impact you get from 3 little playing cards is like...
I've seen you do a trick I've seen you perform a trick with 3 playing cards. Immaculate Connection. That is one of the hardest tricks, even though I think it is one of the most difficult tricks to perform because you can't drop the ball in that routine.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, phase 2 and 3 are hard. I don't do phase 2 and 3. I do phase 1 and then I get out of it. I could never pull off phase 2 and 3 right. Still, to me, one of the best pieces of close-up magic ever invented. The thought process to stumble upon that and the handling, I would kill to be a fly in the room when he came up with that. You know?
Yeah.
Just brilliant.
And I remember like the first time watching you. I seen you on a trailer doing it before I met you. I remember thinking, oh, okay, this is one of those, like some people do trailers and they do the trick once and that's the only time they've ever done it and shit.
Yeah.
And then you did it in real life in front of me, and it was like one of those very rare moments that, because we're fortunate, we've met a lot of our heroes in magic, where it was like, oh my god, I'm watching Adam Wilber do the trick, I'm watching him do the thing that I thought was like too good to be done, and
40 takes behind the camera.
I'll never forget the first time you did that.
It blows my mind when I'll do that to magicians and they don't know the trick exists. It's like, and most of them don't. Most magicians will be like, what the hell is that?
Because you have to actually tear the deck to do it. So every time you do it, and you can't, and you can only do it was it like 6 times per deck?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me, every time I get an hour out of a deck in a real world environment, right? I'm signing them. They're going into the in case of emergency and being given away. I'm doing immaculate. By the end of an hour, I have 25 cards left in a deck, and I just get a new one. So I take that as sort of like, but I'm out there working, right? It's not like I'm showing. To spend $15 on a 3-hour strolling set on decks of cards is well worth it, right? Because I think the impact when you tear a card to a lay audience, we all know you really want me to write on your card? Yeah. You take it up to tearing the card and they're going, you care enough about me that you're going to rip your card to show me something? You've got my full and undivided attention.
That is very
a really
interesting.
Cool thing for people. You tear it up for them and they know what's going on. First of all, they've never seen that. Second of all, they know you're ruining a deck of cards. People don't ruin their cards. They have one deck of cards that lasts them years. So the fact that you're ripping it, it's taking that, you want me to actually sign this and like write on the card to an even higher level. So, if you don't do Immaculate Connection, go learn it because it's
Paul Harris Immaculate Connection, and then you come up with a gaff for it, which is just brilliant. But let people go and find that on their own to see it on a video.
Yeah.
Because I want to ask this question from Sakura Gaming UK: what was your favorite Blackpool release? It's a good question because I answered it last week.
I mean, I didn't get to see a whole bunch. I caught wind of sort of the buzz items, but, personally, the thing that I saw that I liked the most was probably...
Wait, let me see if I can guess. Wait, what?
Go ahead, guess first.
Fuck. Interchange or the Fall for you?
What's Interchange? I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see this? This thing.
Oh, I did see that. Okay, I saw that. I saw it from your video. So.
Oh, yeah. Super cool. Just a switching device built into, and you can put like a little car.
That's pretty neat.
I don't know, maybe that was kind of your street to switch stuff. No,
I like the cleverness of it. I mean, anything folded, I use in case of emergency now, but the cleverness of that, I think there's some cool stuff there. What was the other one you said?
The Fall by Noel Qualter.
I've heard
the walk around card through glass table.
Yeah, I heard about it. I didn't see it. Noel, authenticity, right? So I did a lecture for the Magic Circle, a free lecture during the pandemic, and then I caught wind from a friend of mine that there were a group of magicians in the lecture that were essentially talking shit about me behind my back while the lecture was going on in a separate chat group that they have for like, here's this group of friends that when we watch the lectures live, we can sort of chat off topic. And people were just being nasty towards me, like saying some pretty foul shit. And I saw some screenshots and Noel was one of them. So that's really the only thing I know of Noel. I know he's a creative guy and he's put out some good stuff. But him and a couple other magicians that are pretty big name magicians were just talking shit about me while I was there to give them a free lecture. And it just really left a nasty taste in my mouth. So I didn't see it. I heard about it from you, but I don't know. I know it's a plastic bag or something that a card goes through.
It's like you have someone hold a sheet of like acetate or plastic paper, like see, like you have a Ziploc lunch bag. Yeah. And then you dribble down, place a card face up on it, and the spectators are holding it, and you just go boop, and it falls through.
I love the premise. I mean, card through
Super
is
cool.
A brilliant premise, and to do it practically in the real world.
Did you see Minted by Craig Squires?
Is that where there's a mint in a coin?
No, because you showed me that Minted is oh fuck, it's downstairs. It's the Jamie D. Grant's Industrial Revelation.
I did see that minted thing. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Love it. Very cool.
Yeah, so it's that in like a lifesavers you could do it with, so you can put like and it's so well made. Like,
eliminates the one pain in the ass of all of those effects except the Matchbox one, which is their two. Kalen's version with the phone, brilliant. Heavy, takes up a lot of space. Jamie D. Grant's.
Did you see the Paul Canzano one?
I saw you do that. Fooled the hell out of me. I mean, I assume I know what the method is, but
yeah,
kudos.
It's that many going through it, and then it's look how close you can look at this,
dude. And then hold that up to the box that it comes out of. Oh,
let me show you the width.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Literally, it's the method. You'll look at the method and be like, oh fuck, okay, I didn't think it was that.
Oh, I'm assuming 3 slits or 2 slits. No, it had to be 3.
I can't tell. It's not my method to share.
Yeah, dude, what I love about it is it fit in your pocket. It's not going to weigh your pants down, so you have to tighten your belt.
The only thing with it comes with this, so to stop the matches, like splitting and coming out and shit, so you have to keep this on you, which is pretty cool. It's interesting anyway. So like this sits.
That comes with the kit.
Yeah. So like that.
Love it already.
That
That's great,
sits in
dude.
there. That. And then
How much was that?
I got it in like a Black Friday sale, like I don't know, 40% off. So I don't know, $90. It's pretty cheap.
See, I'm a fan of that. That's well thought out, right? That person went, how can someone actually work this in the real world? The fact that it comes with a little carrier like that. Who put that up?
Paul Carzano, I think. It's called Punct, Punct.
My hat's off.
I have
That's
the packaging
great.
somewhere for it, I think. There we go, look. Let me see.
I love it, dude.
Mental Voyage
That's
is
great.
his website.
Very cool.
Super, super good. And then also, this is from Craig Squires, and I know he's going to be doing it through like Murphy's and stuff as well, but I think he has a website you can get it from too. Again, it comes with everything you need as well to do, like, so in America, it comes with these. Like,
So good.
you can literally
so
just
good.
perform it straight out of the box. You don't actually even need to buy the sweets if you need, the mint.
Love it.
Super good. So what was your favorite Blackpool release?
Well, I didn't see any of those. I didn't see Noel's thing. I didn't see that. I saw all of that and heard about all that after the fact. But the stuff I actually saw is probably Michael Chatelain's. It's a jar that a coin goes in. Really, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty. I like it because I know where I could use that. Like already I could fit that in somewhere. Clever gimmick. You hold the jar. It's got a cork on it. Clear as day. Coin's now in the jar. You take the cork off, show everything, dump the coin out. Looks great. Super clever method. The other thing, obviously, Shrapnel by Kim. Did you see that?
Let me just say this. I don't know how this works, but I think somebody's tipped me to ask a question to you. So it's from Ciderman Magic, and it's got like a timer coming down. So I don't want to like. He says, Adam Wilber, what do you think about today's approach to marketing magic? This fooled me. Insert famous magician's name. This will fool your spectators. Like, what do you think to that for marketing magic?
I think it's very smart. I mean, if in the Cups and Balls trailer, I have Roddy McGee saying this is the best thing at Blackpool 2022, right? So it's social proof. That's all that is. So in any marketing, you're going to learn social proof is a massive draw for people to gain the trust they need to buy into whatever it is. So I'm all for it. I think that might be stemming from, do I feel cheated in the Quantum trailer? No, right? I saw the trick. I said, is that examinable? In my head, I'm thinking, if I'm going to perform this, is it then examinable to the person I'm performing it to? And the answer is yes, it is.
Yeah.
I didn't ask him, if I showed that to a magician, could they examine the deck? And if he said, well, they might see something they shouldn't, or whatever, it wouldn't deter me from the effect. So I think it's just social proof. It's building social proof. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think where it would be wrong, let's say Craig said, hey man, I'll give you $1,000 and 20 free Quantum decks if you pretend to be really blown away by this.
Yeah.
That's shady. I don't believe in that. I don't think companies are doing that. So I think it's all good marketing. It's just social proof. Exhausting anything. You can't do it every time because people get tired of that kind of trailer. But for Quantum, it worked great. He did. He fooled the.
Well, I mean, look at you. You put out Clone. You worked on Clone by JC Rodarte, and you went on Penn and Teller Fooler. The trailer was you fooling Penn and Teller. They weren't paid to do that. I mean, you fucking fooled them. If they'd had the ability to do a super intensive close-up look, they would have eventually figured out the secret. But again, same realm, same stratosphere. It was the social proof, and apart from it being a great trick as well, and a really good utility, that hinged a lot on the story of it was JC saying that he was kicked out of FISM the first time because they thought he used Stooges. That's how much the social proof
so
there was
believable, so good they thought there was no possible way it could be done without a stooge.
Yeah, so he was banned from the first time he did it at FISM and had to re-enter and do it on the judges to prove they weren't in on it.
I think it's good marketing if done right. I think more often than not it's done right.
Depends on the trick. Like, do you know if it was a trick like that didn't matter if you were fooled or not? Like you were selling, say it's about I don't know a prop which isn't a fooler but it's a prop you're going to use every day. Like a PK ring or something. Then having a magician say, I'm fooled, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds of magicians, from the hobbyists to the people who just want to know the secret, to the people who are out there working it for general public, to the people who are out there performing it for friends and family. And every single one of them has a different criteria of what makes a trick valuable to them.
Yeah.
A trick being valuable to me gives me 7 minutes on stage, right? Or if it's a close-up trick, a trick that's valuable to me doesn't take a lot of pocket space and immediately fits in with what I'm already currently doing, right?
Yeah.
So it just depends on who you're marketing to. The idea of I'll fool a magician is a good social proof to say, if it's going to fool a magician, then, or even if it didn't fool the magician, if it was me just saying, oh, dude, I think I know the method, but that is brilliant. Is there any difference there, right? If me opening that trailer, instead of me going, how the hell did you do that? Was me going, dude, this is going directly into my close-up set. The method of that is brilliant. I think it's the same thing. It's the social proof of somebody else who's done magic for a real paying audience, seeing it and saying, I stand behind that. I really like that. So I think it really just comes down to social proof. And if I ever come up with something that fools a bunch of magicians, hell yeah. Why not take a video of me going, all right, this is it.
The thing that I showed you, I think one of the things I'm going to show people, so the thing that I showed you, we had to hide from people.
Yep.
I don't really think that's about fooling anyone. It's more of like, holy fuck,
that's a perfect example of going,
cool.
I'll use that. I know how it works. I know exactly how I will use that. Double cross, same exact thing. Most people who see double cross in a trailer know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, that's really good. I want to buy that.
Yeah.
Right? Like in the trailer for Cups and Balls, we contemplated a lot. Do we show, there's a close-up shot of this. So you see it suck in. And we spent a week discussing, do we put that in the trailer? Is that too much of an exposure to the general public? And we decided no, because what we're trying to sell is that. That's it. We're not trying to hold the secret back and say, how did we get the loads there? It's more so we want them to go, oh, know how it works, know exactly how I'll use that, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to if we just do it and show the loads, now their mentality is, oh, I think it's somewhere under there, but I'm not sure how it's getting in there so quickly. And I don't want that. I don't want to be fooling someone in the trailer. I want people to see it and go, I know
I'll use that. Yeah. Okay.
So, social proof is a massive marketing tool. So I think
it's more of like not so much a marketing tool, but like it's like, hey, these people are vouching for it. Like it fooled them. They're a master magician. Like you can be confident that your lay audience will not see a thing. It's one of those like. Hey, you can trust this is going to work. But let me ask this. I can see a question coming in from James Samuel, and there's other questions before it, which I'm going to come back to. But I think it's a very valid, relevant question to you. Adam question. Is there a way to make what, where, why a bit more stand-up, bringing the cards a bit more to chest height? It's epic, and I've loved performing it, but interested to see your thoughts. I think that's such a good question, because you can tell James is actually out there doing it and wants to rearrange his aesthetic of the effect.
So great question, and one that I couldn't answer without some work put into it. I think the answer is yes. It is such a routine that I think you could structure it to a stand-up.
So it's kind of like this, right? It's all down here. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
there's a few things. Yeah. I mean, the short answer is yes. I think you could. It's not something I've worked, so
you
I
do
don't
it like
want
this
to
way.
confidently.
So you're just rearranging the grips from down low to like.
So
like
I've got it here. So
talk about fucking customer service right here.
Let's find out. So here's the. So I'm gonna eliminate the pulling it out of the envelope and showing, right? That's the climax ending. What I think he's talking about is the reveal of the words, because the climax ending, of course, you could bring up here, pull the envelope out, and dump out like that. So if we're at this point, and I've asked them, okay, so I've shown them, don't worry about the backs of the cards. It's actually just the faces, and actually only one of the faces. So I'm standing up now. I have four different cards. Your choice is simple. Which of the four is the correct one? So just name one.
Queen of clubs.
Oh, you've seen the trick. Well done. No, you've never seen it first time? Well, look, I said one is correct and three are incorrect. The one that's correct is the queen of clubs. Those three are the incorrect. So you did a great job. So that's all kind of up here. And now, okay, so now instead of doing it down here, I would just come up here and say you probably have a few questions. I'll be honest. I wouldn't flash that. I'll be honest, so do I. Here's my first question. My first question is this. I got a triple. Sorry. My first question is this. Damn it. Forgot my own trick. Okay, so we're here. The queen goes down, right? So we're at this point. I've got the queen. Here's my first question. When did the cards disappear?
So would you bring that up there, maybe a bit higher?
You could go to here. When did the cards disappear? My next question, why are there no faces and backs? My next question, what happened to the faces and backs? And finally, where did all the cards go? Well, if you remember, we put that card on the table for. So yeah, you could just draw it up here as opposed to being down here. Just playing with the handling a bit to get it more fluent and smooth, but 100%. Now at this point, all attention would go to the table. Let's say you didn't want to use the table, you put it in your breast pocket. So it's always sticking out of your breast pocket a bit, right? Now you re-grip here. I could show this, look in the wallet. Now all cards would go down and I could pull the wallet out. So I think it is doable, probably with a night of just playing around.
Maybe you could have like another spectator hold the wallet for you from the beginning. Would that work? So you say, I want you to come here, hold the wallet up in the air, don't let anybody get to it. So they're up and out, you know what I mean?
And they're now
holding and now you're doing the routine up
which
here.
Which is a great moment, right? They're holding on to the gimmick itself, which is a really cool moment.
And they feel like they're part of the routine and they're involved.
I would love to see someone put some work into that and shoot me a video, but I think absolutely it's possible.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'd love to see it done that way too. Okay, so Blackpool releases really quickly. You were saying Kim Anderson's Shrapnel and Michael Chatelain's Bottle Effect, right?
Yeah, Zhao's thing's pretty cool. I didn't get to play with it enough. You know, I love innovative stuff like that, so there's some arguments for and against it.
Shrapnel, I think, won. They did like an unofficial. There's a Blackpool Magic Conventioneers Facebook page, and I think it was Rory Adams asked everyone what was the best trick of Blackpool, and Shrapnel by Kim Anderson won overwhelmingly.
If you've seen him perform it, it is gorgeous. Really pretty moments. A lot of really pretty moments in there.
I'm gonna ask him to come on the channel actually. I think maybe next week and show everyone what Kim sort of makes me stop and do sometimes is think, oh fuck, if we just work on our magic a bit more, you know, like if you work on, like, so often you want to learn so many new routines and new things and gadgets, but when you see he's a master, right? He's a master sleight of hand artist, and when he does it like that right in front of you, you realize just how powerful these objects can be in the, you know, when you dedicate time. And
he's the full package. He's a great presenter. He's charismatic, personable, and impeccably good at sleight of hand. So, and original. You know, it's just if you've never seen his squeaker routine, have you seen that?
Yeah, dude.
Again, that's a prop that's been out for 100 years, and he reinvented an entire routine that's a commercial, brilliant piece of fooling magic with squeakers. It's so good. Yeah. I love Kim. Kim's a great thinker. I didn't get to see him perform it there. I saw it on video. I would say that Chatelain's thing or Zhao's thing, just because it's, you know, Craig Filsetti had a new thing out too, which is dynamite, but not something I could afford. And you actually have to sign an NDA to even see it demoed, so I can't even talk about it, but it's
I heard about that too. The Omni Wallet, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It just, it sort of, I know you don't need to, but it's sort of, you know, most of the time you need to take the card back.
I've heard your thoughts on this, and I totally agree with you. I think the next evolution of a peak of any kind will be when it's a peakless peak. So, you know, quietly I won't say it on here, but
the last time you said this, you said I ain't gonna say it on here, and then you fucking give away a whole routine
this is too infant. This is way too much.
Yeah, no, don't do it. But let me distract from that.
That's the next evolution. When it could be the best peak on the planet, the moment you have to look at something, it still falls into the category. To truly innovate that space, you have to eliminate the peak.
Like with Cognito plug.
right?
Well, it's got no. It's only because it's got the peakless peak feature in there.
But again, now there's no peak, so you're eliminating the one thing that is the
Yeah.
if it's a center tear, if it's I've used the Assassin's wallet for forever. And yeah, hell yeah, you can get away with it and you can peek it in a million ways that they'll never know. But I'm talking, so do you need to innovate to where you eliminate the peak? No, you don't need to. Would it be super dope if something came out? Imagine if I came out and said, this is it. That's what you buy. This is it. All they do is write something down. Whatever they write down, you have the information. You don't even look at anything. Okay. How much, right?
Yeah.
$2,000, $3,000, I'll buy it.
I don't care. I'm keeping that for the rest of my life. Like,
that's the next evolution. It's just,
I think for me, like with those any magician's wallets, it's the moment they relinquish that card from their person, it doesn't matter how you peek it, you've killed a bit of the magic for them. And I know so many mentalists will shoot me down, but you can when you know people. You know the body language goes from, okay, he's like, yeah, he's not, and then, okay, now just put it back in the wallet, they go, oh. Or even if they don't go, oh, they go.
I think everyone can agree, yep, you can get away with it with no issue whatsoever, but you'd be lying if you said it wouldn't advance it if you could eliminate that. Look, if you're really a magician, what would you do? Think of something, I'll tell you what you thought. Now we have to have him write it down. We can justify that for a number of ways.
Yeah.
Why am I giving it back to you? So imagine if we could eliminate everything, right? So it's forget giving it back to me, forget writing something down, forget typing something into a phone. So it's getting as close to perfect as possible, which means eliminate the give back, eliminate the peak, and if somebody's really magical out there, figure out a way to eliminate them even writing it down. I don't know how that would work, but...
Well, I mean, we got pretty close with that, and I can't even take the credit for it. It was Stephen Leithwaite's cake principle, incognito. So, I mean, it started out for me, which was the whole principle with cognito is that they never write anything down, nor do they say it, type it, or indicate. And it got to the point where like they don't even look at the, like if it's a playing card they're thinking of, they don't it's not even on the screen, they're not even looking at it, and there's other things. And then Michael Murray suggested with like the horoscopes version of it that they tell Smart. You it without realizing. So I don't know if you've seen that horoscope routine, but
oh yeah,
they read any horoscope that's not theirs to you.
Yeah, and that time is what helps the whole thing work.
Yeah, so like there's 4 pictures of horoscopes. Like so, there's like 5 horoscopes on a page, and you say, and there's like four photos of them or 4 screenshots, and you say, go ahead and read a horoscope that's just not. Make sure you don't read your own. So they're like, okay, there's no way he could know mine because I'm not even looking at it. And then you're like, do you agree with that horoscope? You don't even have to ask him anything. And then you say, go ahead, just so everyone knows, like, what sort of thing you're reading. Like, is it like an analytical thing, or is it like airy fairy, or just read out like one sentence from it. So they read out the sentence and they go, oh, today's moonbeam shines over your soul, it's shimmering in light. And you're like, yeah, so it's complete nonsense. And by them saying that, like in that instance, they would be a Taurus. And they have no fucking clue. Yeah, it's just like, again, it's brilliant. Michael Murray. That was Michael Murray? Pardon?
That was Michael Murray?
So Michael Murray reminded me of Stephen Leithwaite's cake principle. And Stephen Leithwaite's cake principle, and he gave us the permission to put it on Cognito.
Brilliant.
Just genius. What's what happens when great minds collide. And then I get in the middle and say, can I please steal from you?
I have something we could marry. Can we do that?
Yeah, could I be the vicar? But yeah, so Joey Miner says, Alexander Pinedo says, wow, so informative and awesome, so great. Thank you, Alexander. I think it's to both of us. Obviously to you, mainly, because you're a genius. Joey says, the quality of Felix's Silk to Egg video was out of this world. I've never seen a magic-related video with that sort of cinematic quality.
I will tell Felix you said that. He'll be. Wow. I agree. I think it's a really cool thing to watch somebody in a journey from doing no magic to, at the end of this journey, he's going to fill a 35-minute stage show. First of all, the balls that takes. I don't know if anyone's ever documented something like that. I think that's kind of a first of really being like, I want to do a show. How do I get there?
Yeah.
Watching the whole journey. So it is. I think it's. And again, if we tie ourselves up into why are we only getting 50 or 100 views a video, it can be really discouraging. Felix puts in hours on those things, hours and hours and hours per video. But again, it's not about that. right? At the end of the day, we're going to have something to look back on that documented that journey. And the handful of people that it helps along the way, people like that comment, perfect. That's the massive, delicious icing on the cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I actually haven't seen his Silk to Egg video, so I'm interested to see that.
It's called Zero to Hero, right? So it's him and I working on him building a show, and we're on openers right now. So he learns it, he practices it. The next video is me critiquing his performance of it. And then on Mondays, that's that video. On Friday is the updated video of him performing it with the feedback.
Wow.
And then we'll go into the next opener, which is Knots Off Silk. And then he'll figure out which opener he likes best. Now we have his opener. We're going into the next trick. You know, so it's like watching a mentor his mentee in real time with an end goal of a 35-minute stage show from someone who's never done it in their life.
Brilliant.
Pretty cool.
Brilliant. So we got so many fucking comments, man. Tricked Off says, Hi, Lloyd. Pete and JD says, believe in the process. 100. Danny Urbanus is in the chat. He says, love the thoughts. Have you seen Danny Urbanus' work?
I don't think so. Maybe by sight, but not by
Fuck
name.
me, dude. The last Blackpool before this one, he had the best trick at the convention. He's the guy that does the he gets the rubber band and the Sharpie and he melts it through. And it's just the closest thing to real magic I've ever seen in with my own two eyes. That pencil melts through a rubber band. In the own like real magic.
Absolutely beautiful.
And he does some good packet tricks, actually. Danny Urbanus is a bit of a genius. I know he was a consultant in, I want to say, the Netherlands. Don't shoot me if it's wrong. And then he was like hidden away on a TV show, making all these tricks for years, and then eventually, he came to Blackpool, met him.
I've seen that. I mean, I don't know the method of the pencil through, and I don't want to because I don't do any rubber band stuff. I love it. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. I don't want to know the method because
that shocks me that you don't do rubber band stuff. That always shocks me.
I'll be honest. I'm alert. I've got very sensitive allergic to certain rubbers. So like half the rubber bands I touch, the next day I'll have these little they're almost like pimples on my hands, but they hurt like crazy. And I think because of that, I just stopped doing rubber band. I used to do Pinnacle. Do you remember Pinnacle from years ago? I used to do that religiously because those rubber bands were specific and I could do them.
They're latex free, right? That's what you need. That's why I have a big box. It's a kilogram box of latex free rubber bands. But man,
I just stopped doing. I don't talk down on. It's not like fucking rubber band magic, dude. Some of the most fooled I've been is rubber, and that pencil through. Again, I don't know the method. I don't want to know the method. It's too pretty for me to ruin it with the method.
Yeah, it's brilliant, but
like that alone, right? That's such an easy concept to grasp. There's a ring, and it's in a rubber band. Okay, now the ring is off. Like, what is happening? You don't have to say a word, and you can have an entire piece of magic. Crazy Man's handcuffs, so good. But it's just
Crazy Man's my 10,000 hour trick, I think. Okay, so Danny Urbanus just said, love the thoughts. Well, we love you, Danny, so thanks for being here. Do I do giveaways on the live? I don't. Maybe one day I will, but we're just here to... The whole idea of these lives is that it's the magic jam you'd have if we weren't locked down or separated by continents and viruses. So this is what me and dude, you know, if we were hanging out wherever part of the world we'd be together, this is the conversation we would have. It just happens to be cameras on us right now, and this is what I want for everyone. You know, this is a magic jam. Philip says, so funny hearing you fiddle with cards while you're chatting. Michael Lawrence, www wallet is going to be my next magic purse. Oh, this is your what, where, when, why wallet, right?
Awesome.
It's going to be my next magic purchase. By the way, that's going to be considered a modern classic, I bet you.
Well, I can't take all the credit because, again, that was me and Justin Miller jamming on that together. But, you know, everyone thinks it's bullshit because everyone promotes their products. But it's genuinely in my front breast pocket every time I do Strolling Magic. And it's my second piece. So it's the moment I've got their attention with a laugh. I go into that, which used to be mental photography.
Oh, I see you do that for years.
Replaced with what, where, when, why. So, you know.
It's interesting that you've replaced mental photography with that.
And tell him kudos too. What's that?
It's interesting that you replaced mental photography with that because I seen you do that.
Oh, I still do it. I never leave home without mental photo, but it's now not my attention grabber, right?
Yeah.
Because it used to be, I've never seen a deck that's blank before, and within 30 seconds I've printed a card. So now I think I prefer opening a wallet and showing them $100 bill, because it's just more
instantly.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And I say to them, hey, you have a chance to win 100, but you don't have to bet anything. You've got my undivided attention. I'll take $100, right? And they know it's playful and I'm not really going to give it to them. And there's an argument of, should you do tricks like that where you're setting them up to not win the 100? The way I present it, it's fun and tongue-in-cheek and it plays. I'm not a huge advocate of, here's 6 envelopes, we'll put 101. They guess 5, they're all wrong, I keep the 100. That's so
Dude, you used to go around putting business cards in fake bills. Like, you got no problem doing the $100 bill.
Yeah. I think, again, I don't want to take all the credit for what, where, when, why, because Justin and I came up with it together, but it is, I don't see myself putting it away anytime soon. So thanks for the support. If you're going to purchase it, head on over to VolpineCreations.com.
French Bullfrog says, took 2 days to get my trick after ordering. Bingo. Boom.
Is he US?
I don't know, but he can answer in the comments. But that's fucking amazing.
We do a flat rate shipping. It's $10, but that's because everything goes out the day it's ordered. As long as it's before 5, I run to the post office and they're priority shipped. So they cost us between $8 and $10 to ship, but it's usually a 1 to 3 days before it'll land at your house.
That's fucking
dude,
fast.
You order something from a Magic Penguin is phenomenal at it. They show up. The worst thing in the world is having to wait 10 or 15 days to get a product. Yeah. It's just pulling hairs.
The best in the UK is Prop Dog, because you order from Prop Dog at like 4:30 p.m. and 9 times out of 10 it'll be on your doormat at 9 a.m. the next morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I've literally had that experience with them. I desperately wanted an Omni deck and one of those.
That feels like someone dropped it off at your house.
And for anyone, I'm in a different country to Prop Dog. He's in England. I'm in Wales. That's like Canada to America.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so they're great over here. So Alex Bowe's got a question for you. A quandary. Why not do a Kickstarter to fund the tricks?
You know, we discussed that at length with Cups and Balls. The honest reality is there's so much. You want to see a deck of cards I want to put out?
Yeah.
A little teaser. So.
Oh, these something with the word 9. I don't want to say it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
this is
these
the
are
first
sick.
deck I actually designed every single part of myself. So, and this will tie into why the Kickstarter. So, there's that. Can you see that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is the Volpine Ninetales. Kind of hard to see here because it's blurry, but it's supposed to look just like the classic Tally-Ho. On the barcode is actually an illusion, which says if you tilt it and look with one eye, it says you will pick the Jack of Clubs. So that's built into it. That's the back design. Again, it's shit that it's so blurry, and then that's the cards. So this
love them, dude. It does. They look like tallies for all intents and purposes.
That's exactly what they're supposed. That's the same, almost exact design pattern as a Tally-Ho. Obviously, the internals I changed, but the cross there, the little triangle there, the circle base, the foxes in the middles are 9-tailed foxes, and there's a lot of really cool history about 9-tailed foxes that we'll get into if we ever launch these. But
I thought it was a Pokemon reference because there's a Ninetales in Pokemon, right? Or something.
Yeah, but the Ninetales from Pokemon stems way back from the actual the actual meaning of what Ninetales is. So there's a few different meanings. One of the meanings is that it's a very cunning and conniving woman, and the 9-tailed fox tricks her victims, which are guys. But there's also a few other meanings which mean more than the woman one. The Pokemon and stuff all come from the folklore that originated from a 9-tailed fox. So
that's amazing.
There's a lot to it. But that we thought maybe we'll do a Kickstarter with, because regardless if we failed with this is going to come out. There's nothing, no matter what, this was going to come out. But there's so much I don't know about Kickstarter. I've done a few, but that was because I had the team at Illusionist doing the legwork of the Kickstarter. Right? I invented this stuff and was on video. There's a lot to a Kickstarter, and to do it right, I'm not sure we could pull it off. So that was the main reason. You know, we could probably fund color psychology with a Kickstarter, but again, it's not something we've ever done before, and the reality is we would need somebody to help us actually do the Kickstarter properly. So we have thought really long and hard about it, but it's just not something that we are confident enough in our skill set to pull it off the way we want to at this point.
Good answer. So Guchalia, Neil's Magic in a Fun Way is the name. I'm not even kidding. Says, I am here too. Sounds amazing, Adam. I missed it. What was the name of the trick? But that was referring to something earlier. Marcus J thinks Kickstarter is a good idea, by the way, for what it's worth. Punk BMX says, hey guys, got made redundant and felt super bummed out until I watched the Sunday session. Man, I hope you're feeling okay. I'm sorry that you got made redundant, but Magic is a brotherhood and we're all here for you. So
I'm not quite sure what that means, made redundant.
It means he lost his job.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I mean, look. Well, I don't get all spiritual and shit, but things work out, man. Just keep your head up, keep positive, realize that everything does happen for a reason, and the most challenging times of your life are the part where you'll grow more than anything. So if you're in that spot where it feels heavy, you're being tested, all you got to do is, stay true to yourself, keep your head up, do as much positive as you can. Things will work out. I know it's a lot easier to hear that than to live it, but from first-hand experience,
we both did
I promise you, I've lived it, and it gets better.
It will, yeah. And reach out, man, to me. Say who you are, Punk BMX. Reach out to me or Adam, and we'll be happy to chat and cheer you up. We need cheering up, dude. Nigel Quinn says, great chat, guys. Looking forward to this week's TMC Q&A, Adam. You're announcing lecture tours too? Question mark.
TMC Q&A. That's
Magic Circle week. Q&A.
Yep.
The panic on your face.
No, I got it on my calendar. And I think I'm forgetting about it. Just got to triple check that it's on the calendar. Yes, good. I'm looking forward to it as well. What was the follow-up behind it? He asked something else.
You're announcing lecture tours too? Question?
Yeah, so the lecture tour is a bit. I'm building that now. So basically, like I'll hopefully do the Chicago Magic Lounge, do the lecture there, and then get a car and do like a 60-mile radius because I'm a single dad, so I get my kids 1 week and their mom takes them the next. So I have to fit everything into like week-long chunks, which means I can't do a 1-month tour. So it's a little challenging, but we are doing all that right now and just leaning on people to sort of help with the logistics of it all. But yeah, I'm really excited about this year being in person, doing lectures. We need it.
Yes, we do.
Magicians need to gather.
Well, this sort of
such a great feeling because everyone was there. Restrictions were lifted. We were hugging. It was just, I needed it more than I knew I needed it. And I want more of it. And I think in-person lectures is what's going to allow me to get more of it.
Yeah, over the pandemic, I'd become really reclusive. Turned down a lot of friends who were asking to hang out and just meet up and things. I just really become a hermit. And after Blackpool, I realized that I didn't know how unhealthy that had become personally.
100%. Yep.
And how important it is
to see. You get used to it and then it feels norm. But then you get out and, like I said, being with friends and hugging people, man. That, just giving someone a hug that you love and being like, so good to see you.
Yeah.
There's real magic in that, like undescribable, right? The idea of gathering. They did a study on rats about addiction, and we don't really know where addiction comes from, but this study showed in a very roundabout way. It was a great study. Essentially, the addiction was from lack of community, from lack of being with others. And they've shown through humans as well, a lot of people that fall into addiction, alcoholism, any sort of addiction, it's a lack of love. Now, I don't mean love like your parents didn't love you. That sucks and that happens to people. But it's the lack of a community, of a group of people that you can feel accepted in. So people who even have lots of friends but don't feel accepted, maybe because of a mental health issue or because their friends are dickheads or whatever, they're very prone to addiction. So when you isolate humans to be by themselves and make that the norm, I'm an alcoholic openly, and I have a lot of alcoholic friends that are in recovery. The cases of alcoholism and health-related emergency visits to alcohol through the pandemic have skyrocketed. And I think it's because of the normalcy of us normalizing the idea of isolation. It is the most unhealthy thing humans can do. All animals, but humans.
Dude, I'm literally 6 months sober after ending up in hospital in the pandemic through alcoholism. You just told my story 100%. I have photos of me in the gutter.
You can't say all addiction stems from this lack of community and acceptance, but there's some evidence that show, again, rats have nothing except their instinct. And when you take them away from their community, they stay addicted to the morphine. When you introduce them back to their community, they stop taking the morphine. That's insane, right? Like, that seems like a sentence that you could just say, but grasping what that means is insane. And scaling that up to humans, I think a long way to say, yeah, I'm doing a lecture tour, and more so, obviously, to get the brand out there, but really it's about that sitting in front of other magicians and having conversations, looking them in the eyes and shaking their hands and giving them hugs and stuff. So really, really excited for this year and getting on the road a bit.
Yeah, well, that segues nicely into a question that somebody asked: is there any more conventions in the UK? And a few people are commenting, so it helps us jump a few of the comments because there's so many. Everyone's saying that that the session, I think that's in the summertime this year. The session's in London, which is a Vanishing Ink convention. I also think there's
Yep. I love the session. I've done that 3 years. I've loved it every single time.
Yeah, it's like Blackpool's the one you go to for social, full on social and dealers hall. The session's the convention you go to better your magic.
Yeah, it's more. I couldn't agree more. I think Vanishing does a really good job on making an academy out of what they're doing. Right? They're a company and they do all the company things that people hate. But Josh and Andy, they genuinely love magic and want to see magic be in a better place.
Yeah.
Money aside. And I respect the hell out of that. There's not a lot of...
No.
I mean, sure, again, they're a big company, so they have the big company stigma. But I just know from knowing them, they genuinely care about magic. So...
And they genuinely care about conventions, because...
It is. It's very academic. I did the Magi Fest, and it was a very cool academic feel where people were walking around with notebooks and actually taking notes. And, that's cool. I would love, I don't know how it would ever happen, but I would love to be able to lecture at a session or a Magi Fest and be one of the lecturers there and then, have a dealer's. Because then, again, it's the putting the face to the name, right? They see you, they understand where you're coming from, what you love, maybe disprove about magic, and then they can have those conversations. But, I've yet to maybe I'll just reach out and just
if anyone knows Josh and Andy personally, I know them a little bit, but not only enough to say hello to.
Same.
Say to them, Penguin Lecturer of the Year officially is Adam Wilber, and he's asking, can he lecture at one of your conventions? Please make it the session.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, I know their social media guys are super cool. I'm friends with them. They're both very approachable, nice people.
Matt,
minus the fact
I know Matt.
There's two or three, but I don't know my name. I'm terrible with names. But darker hair. He's at all the trade shows with them. But Josh and Andy, they're just insanely busy. I mean, they're running a massive magic company and writing books and doing book tours and performing. But I'm definitely on my list to reach out and just say, hey, I don't know where this goes, but I'd love to put my name in a hat to be someone that could lecture. I did win Lecturer of the Year, and I have a brand new one. That's definitely on the docket. But regardless of if they accept that or not, we'll definitely do everything we can to get a booth at the sessions, because those are fun.
Well, there's the session convention. There's the latest thing, the London Magic Convention, which is hosted by Preston Nyman and Andy Nyman, father and son.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which is in October or November. So it's
What's
almost
that
like
one called again?
The London Magic Convention. Darren Brown was the guest speaker this year.
Cool.
It's their second year coming up now. It's really fucking cool. Really, really cool. They
have a dealer's room, right?
Yeah, they have a dealer's hall. It's a 1 day convention. So, but it'd be worth flying over for it. Because
Where's it held?
Huh?
I said, where's it held? But that's a joke.
There's also other little ones, tiny ones. I think like Leamington. This is for people in the UK, like the Leamington Spa, I think, or Bristol Day of Magic. But these are tiny, tiny ones that you wouldn't want to fly over for, I think. But that's
Well, the thing is, we pair it with filming, so even one day.
oh
Well, I probably if it was in a way where it was like, great, we have a project. I'll get Felix there. We'll stay 3 extra days. But yeah, the little ones, there's a lot here in the States too. It can be gold mines, right, for independent creators, but
yeah.
it's tracking them all down and then figuring out which the right ones are. Because the worst thing is to spend $3,000 getting somewhere, bringing product, and then there's 45 people there. You know, it's like, ugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So I'm trying to get through we're going to be here all night otherwise. So they talk about the conventions in America, in London. Hi, my name is Drew, and okay, this is from Nun1. Hi, my name is Drew, and a grandfather. I'm just getting back into magic to show my grandsons.
Cool.
My question is, you already thought about using Zoom for a lecture that someone like me could join?
Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of Zoom lectures, so absolutely. With the Zoom lectures, we just ask that there's 50 people that join because I'll be blunt and transparent. Nobody buys anything on Zoom. So at least it's adding to our email list, and then we could target to them later. So we do ask, I know that's like, oh, I don't have 50 friends, but if you have a local magic group near you, you could reach out to them and offer it, and then they could pair with another magic group. And it really, I just had this conversation with someone, and they just got 2 local magic groups together. Each one of them had 30 people, and now we do a Zoom lecture. But I absolutely have a full Zoom lecture with 3 cameras where I can do basically the whole lecture. I can stand up and do the cups and balls and everything else, but we just ask that there's at least 50 people to fill the seats so it's worth the while.
Amazing. And if that question was also directed at me, I don't do a Zoom lecture at the moment, but only because putting it together takes time, like, you know, Adam and I am at the time. But I'm interested to help in any way I can. If you want to show magic to your grandsons and there's something you want to pick my brains about, then feel free to drop me a message and I'll try and
good for you, man. I mean, my grandpa showed me magic when I was a kid. I'll remember it to the day I die. So that's really cool.
Same. It's what got me into magic. My grandfather showed. He took. I ever tell you the trick that he showed me? I don't think so. He took a Post-it notepad, and he drew an old school camera. You know the ones that are like a tripod with like a square front and like a little. Yeah. So he drew a camera on there. This is when I was 3 or 4, and then he flicked the pad like this. And where this, let me try and draw the shape for you, so you can get an idea. I guess that's my tax bill.
Are we putting this on the market? Because I'm already intrigued. Right?
Wait, I have to use a blank. I don't want to use a blank. Oh fuck. Okay, so it's like this. So just drawing it really quick. Oh god, my drawing skills are so bad. So that, you know, like oh god. So where's the camera lens? So this was like the camera shape. That isn't even the shape. Fuck me, that's so bad. But like an old school, it looks nothing like one. But he flicked the Post-it note, but there appeared a smiley face like this.
No way.
Yeah. And the method's actually a really cool method, which some people, a shitload of people have not. So when he flicked it, a smiley face appeared there, and that was the trick.
Cool.
Yeah, and it was like a really interesting thing. I know. So that's my grandfather's show. But if it wasn't for him, you know, wouldn't mean you would not be talking right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had the classic coin vanish thing, and he would always just do really silly stuff. Like when he'd cut open I remember this so vividly. When he would cut open a cantaloupe, because he had a summer cottage in Cape Cod, and that's when we got to go see him. He'd cut the cantaloupe, but he'd throw his voice to make it sound like the cantaloupe was like in pain and screaming. It was just, it's not a magic trick, but it was so magical to me because I'm like, how? Like he could properly throw his voice. So I'm seeing him do it, and then I'm hearing this cantaloupe. I just remember being like, Grandpa, cut the cantaloupe, and just little things, not so much even magic, but like magical things that he would bring into my world, you know? And then once I started doing magic, he was such a cool audience, and always just like, I was probably horrible at the time, but he would always act fooled and was just such an advocate for it that there's something cool about like
passing it through the generations.
Bullpine. It's called Grandfather's Spinning Top, and it's my homage to, you know, the greatest guy besides my father I've ever known. So
I just,
awesome that you're doing
on
that,
a side note, I just showed my son Thomas the first ever trick ever. yesterday. So
Yeah.
super basic. Listen to how funny this is, right? So super basic because he's 15 months old. Like he's not even a year and a half yet. Coin in my hand, coin vanished, and he's searching my hand, right? He's like looking for it, and I start pulling it from behind his ear, right? Super simple. And he's following it, right? And he's like, what the? And he doesn't get us here, and then right. So then I give him the coin, and he's put it in his hand, and he's going
God.
like this, right? And he's looking for it behind his ear, and he's passing it from hand to hand. He's really good with his hands for his age. Anyway, so now he's eating his toast, and he gets his toast for breakfast, and he eats it, so it's gone, and then he goes. So when something goes, it must come from the ear now. Which I thought was so great.
I remember my son came home in like third grade, second or third grade, and he's like, Dada, a teacher showed me a magic trick. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be something corny and cheesy. And he does this thing, it's a trick, but you can like wrap your ear so it looks like your thumb is sticking through your ear. So it's a way of bending your ear. And he does it to me. And I remember we're right down by the front door, and he's like, Dad, my teacher showed me something. And I was like, oh, okay, And then he does it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, genuinely fooled. Like, how? That's a really good illusion. Like, what are you even doing? And then he pulled his thumb out, and I was like, do that again. Like, to the point of, I could figure what's going on, but like, that was smooth, right? Him getting into it and everything. And he showed me again, and I was like, that's actually a really good trick. I was like, look, you tell your teacher, nobody is to show his son magic tricks except me.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable. But it was such a cool moment of like, he saw that I was not, maybe not fooled, but was like genuinely like, holy shit. And he did it. Then he just wanted to show me, right? He wanted to show me the method instantly. And I was like, oh man.
Like that's where magic lives, right? That's the good stuff.
In the space in between right there that's the magic, right? The moment of like, and him seeing that. I remember the day I showed my dad the first trick and it fooled him. And it was the same feeling he must have felt because I could see my dad go. And I was like, what? Ah! Like I have this information, he doesn't. It was such a cool feeling. So yeah, it's, for the grandfather out there wanting to learn it for your grandson, I think that's just awesome, man.
Yes, and you don't know how butterfly effect, man.
Let us know.
Butterfly effect. You could inspire him. 60s, he could be the next Hall of Famer, for magic.
Copperfield started somewhere. Blaine started somewhere. You and I started somewhere. Like, yeah, it's just magic is that special thing. We're so deep into it that I say me can easily forget how special it really is, and those times I had a woman come up and just say, my son is battling this was a open public show, and just came up and said, my son's battling some pretty severe health issues. I haven't seen him smile in 2 years. For 45 minutes, he was smiling. I don't know how to thank you enough. Like, holy shit, right? Like, what are we really doing? Are we inventing magic because we're creative and cool and, it feels good to have your peers think you're creative? Or are we striving to make those moments of what magic should be, right? That moment of forgetfulness, that moment of the world as I know it doesn't have to be the way that it's supposed to be. There's opportunity for wonder and forgetfulness of whatever this kid was. I don't know what his ailments were, but I know that he was sick. And for 45 minutes, he forgot he was sick, right? Like that kind of stuff, that's the grandfather doing magic to his son, right? That's the ego aside. Yes, I'm good. I'm not good. I'm fucking great. Okay. I'm a damn good magician. All of that aside means nothing if there isn't that, hey, you allowed me to forget for a moment. You allowed me to take a break, to stop for a minute, take a breath and live right now, which that's life, right? Life is now, but we're all stuck in the past and worried about what we did or concerned about what's going to happen in the future. And we forget to be here now. And magic can force you to take that moment and go, I'm here now in this moment. You know, I think it's very easy to forget, especially the deeper you get into magic, the more techniques you learn, the more praise you get. You know, the more people that say, you're the best magician I've ever seen. Like, why? Why are we doing what we're doing? To feed our kids? Sure, okay. Then be a really good businessman and a mediocre magician, because that's going to get you the most shows. Is it for accolades and being famous? All right, figure out how to become famous on social media. The ones that I love, you can see in their heart and in their performance that they're doing it because they love to do it. They love to be in front of somebody and share that. And, you know, if we can get back to that and focus the art in the direction of that, of what it's really capable of, it's never going anywhere, right? You can have 1 million people exposing 1 million tricks online and 100,000 terrible magicians berating their audiences. But if the core of it is still the majority of people who are getting into magic understand what it's like, why they're doing it, it's untouchable. Songs, some songs can put you in the same spot, right? If you resonate with a song really deeply, you can stop and the world will stop turning for that 3.5 minutes while you're just in that moment. Between music and magic, I don't know of anything else that can do that, right? A piece of art, maybe, I don't know. But from my experience, it's been nothing but magic or music that's really, even in my darkest hour, forced me to be like, whoa, okay, I'm right here, right now. And that, you can't put a price on that, you know? We're very lucky to be able to do what we do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people do it. I did it for the wrong reasons forever, for so long. Look how good I am. I'm gonna get chicks. All the guys in the room are gonna wanna be me. I'm gonna get paid good money to do this. But the minute you get someone who comes up and thanks you for giving their sick child a moment of relief, crazy, you know?
Yeah. What a fucking poignant moment, man. But it's true. You just summed up why magic is.
And there's a lot of magic to be performed for a lot of different reasons, you know, but I think when you get to it and you get people, you get to a point where you're connecting with people that makes a difference in their lives, not like changing their lives, but makes a difference. That's all you can strive for after that, you know? The first time I did a keynote speech, the very first speech I did, I had 3 people, separate people, crying, waiting in line to talk to me. And at that moment, I was like, I'm not doing magic anymore. I'm done. This is it. Like this, I've never had someone come up cry to me after a magic show. First keynote, 3 different people. They were all women, but different women in different groups. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm now doing this because I can connect. And it took a few years to realize I can still connect in the same way through magic. It's a different medium, but it's the same thing. And a lot of people think my magic and presentations can come off as sort of corny and cheesy. That's great. It is, right? That's my tool that I'm leveraging to connect with people on a human level. Because if you're doing miracles on stage, it's really easy to be on a level that's unrelatable to humans, right? If I'm really doing magic on stage to a level of Darren Brown or Delgadio, right? This is unexplainable miracles. So it's really easy for me to say there's no way I could relate to that person. They're up here. But for me, what works is to be the guy that they go, yeah, that's just like my uncle. That's just like my buddy who's got 2 kids. He's a normal dude. That allows me that connectedness to be able to touch them in a way that, and it's 1 out of 50 shows that I get it, right? Where I get someone, really get someone. But perfect, that's all I need, right? Is that one, because then that why of why I'm doing it makes sense. The reason I really do magic, I love everything about it. I'm like you, I can't be awake and not think about magic.
Yeah.
It's not in me. I could try, but it doesn't work. If I'm working a job, I'm thinking about magic at whatever things are on the desk at the job, you know, but to not lose the love of magic and be burned out, it always comes back to that sort of either talking to magicians and hearing someone say, man, you've inspired me to X, Y, and Z, or to a lay audience and having them be able to be still in the moment and just experience now. That's fucking awesome, dude. Very few people have the opportunity to give that to someone. And inherently that's what we do. We give astonishment.
I hear that a really
wonder. Like, what?
I hear like a really interesting concept. I think it was Eric Mead was talking with, I think it's Paul Harris in like the EMC 2012 convention. And they were on about, they explored using magic as a form of therapy, like sort of Pavlovian conditioning, right? Because magic, the moment the astonishment happens, and if you look, understand like the astonishment essay, the essay of astonishment by Paul Harris, how all the bricks that you've built up of understanding dissipate at the moment that it happens, the very moment that the magic happens. It's impossible to think about anything else because you're just so astonished, amazed, bewildered, everything. You don't get that from comedy. You don't get that from music. This very unique, and I think the astonishment is the correct word for it. So I think it's Eric Mead that talks about showing people a series of magic effects, and each time the moment the magic happens, for example, like in the 2-card Monty, the moment they turn the cards over, you ding a bell, right? And do this like 9 times, 10 times. Because it's like if you have debt worries, if you have love worries, if you have, any worries, any stresses, when someone does that trick to you and you see those cards or that they vanish in your hands or the coin disappears, that moment, that 10 seconds or split second, it's impossible to worry. You can't do it. So they said there was like some sort of discussion where they'd explored using it as therapy, where every time they would show them tricks and ding a bell. And then the next time the person would be worried at home and they think, I've just got a bill come in that I can't afford, ding, and it just snaps them out of it. And I think it's fascinating because magic's the only thing that can really do that on a dime,
Yeah.
Super. I'm fascinated by that concept. I have been for years, and I'd love to see. I wonder if they ever took it any further or discussed it more. But very, very deep thinking, and it's true. Like magic is, like you can do it with music and things, but magic's the one that can do it in a split second.
The best movie in the world, right? Whatever's best suited for your life. And it's an hour and a half long. You can go along, like you'll be along for the ride. But in an hour and a half, there's so many distractions that pop up. If your rent is due and you're really into the movie, something in that movie is going to bring you back to, oh shit, my rent's due in 2 weeks, right? Where magic is such a small space in time, right? It's the moment is such a small space. Now the show as an entirety is like a movie, right? You've got to give them the flow to go along. But in that, you have 8 effects. So there's 8 moments in time that are just frozen from the rest of the world. Where it is, good luck trying to worry about your taxes being due. Good luck trying to worry about your dog is sick.
Yeah.
Everything you've known to be scientifically as is was just shattered, right? And if done delicately, done in a way that it's tied in with something that they want you to remember or an emotion they're trying to pull from you. Yeah, I don't know if even a good song can do that. I have had songs where when I heard them the first time, it seemed like the world stopped.
Yeah.
Like everything that happened in my life was being written in that song at the moment. And there's that weird sort of like, whoa, what? That was weird, dude. Like I related to every line of that at personal levels, but still you're in your own head relating to your life through the song. Whereas magic, it is.
Yeah, well, if somebody just went like they had an empty hand and I know it sounds so pathetic, right? Someone's worried about losing their home, and then someone just this sounds so ridiculous, but someone just makes a leaf appear at their fingertips. Like you couldn't that transcendent moment doesn't I don't know. There's something to it.
And if you pair that with a script that goes with that, right? So it helps to sort of frame it. Because let's say I was in the middle of a divorce and I was 2 days away from losing my house and you went, hey man, just let me show you something here. And a leaf appeared. For a brief moment, I'm going to be like, what the hell? Where'd that come from? But if you then put a script to it that's somehow tied into a message, let's say your message was, life always has a way of working out. And that moment that you're getting that message across, boom, life appeared as a leaf in your hand. what else could do that, right?
Yeah.
Even a therapist, good luck, right?
Yeah.
Even being the world's best therapist, that's weeks of sessions to try and get that moment of stillness, you know? And it's watching a master do it is a special thing. You know, watching Darren Browns of the world do it, or Delgadio's, and, you know, the general audience seeing it as a complete show, but us knowing what really went into making all those moments work perfectly the way they do. There's nothing in the world like it. And the fact that we get to do that, you know, I think a lot of people, and myself included, can very easily fall into, my job is to fool these people and look good while doing it and be funny, you know, and until someone comes up to you and tells you how you've moved them or someone they loved, it's you know, everyone, oh man, that's so cool, you're a magician. And it's like, yeah, but you really don't have any idea how cool it really can be. Like,
do you ever get this feeling like sometimes it's a bit of a superpower? Because I do.
When I put my suit on to go to a show, I feel like Superman, putting on my outfit, buttoning it up every single time. I'm like, it's go time. Let's go, you know?
I used to think, like, wherever I was in the world, and this comes from, like, being, you know, raised poor, but I'd always have worries of not being able to get back, being stranded. And I always think, like, I'm, you know, confidently now that I don't care, because if I was stripped naked and had a pair of boxers on, I could go to, like, any bar, any place. I know I could strike up a conversation and start, like, win everyone over, and just sort of people will, like, you know, they would get myself out of danger with it. It sounds really silly, but it's like, I've always held it as this safety net, like this parachute that could get me out of trouble anywhere in the world. It's like
100%.
the coolest thing.
When I was back in the day, I got in trouble for selling pot. Back when it was actually bad to sell pot, and I thought I was going to do 10 years in prison. Like, I was fairly confident of it, and I was just in limbo for like a year. And the only thing that got me through, and this is so stupid, but I just remember thinking, hey, look, if I go into prison, they got decks of cards there. I'm gonna be the center of entertainment. Right? Yeah. No one's going to beat up the guy that's making everyone laugh and smile. And I'll be very cautious. It won't be confrontational magic. It'll be fun and lightheartedness. But the thing that got me through was going, I have this tool that I could bring into the worst possible situation I could be put into and thrive through it.
Yeah.
Who else could do that? If you're a singer, what are you going to go do? Start singing to them? It's a different ball game altogether, man. Right? I got the card hustlers. I could show them some card cheating stuff. I got the people that just want to be entertained. I could be entertaining, you know, and it was a massive comfort blanket for me to be like, no matter where I go, you give me 52 pieces of paper and I'm good. I'll be all right.
Give me fucking no matter what pieces of paper, you know?
Yep.
You don't even need the full deck, or just the principles that you know. And it's such a liberating, powerful thing. It goes far beyond just doing a show, or, you know.
And it's funny to fall out of that, you know, and you can forget that and just feel like, especially when you create magic and try and make it a living. It's
or if you go on the Magic Cafe too often.
Oh, it's been, I don't even know how years since I've been on there. It's the best decision I ever made, just never going on there.
I just use it as like smut.
I can't even stand it. If I see that green, even my stomach hurts now, you know?
It's gross. But before we get too distracted, and I'm trying to talk slightly quieter because my son is in bed, David Jonathan says, joined late, but congrats on the award and cups teaser, Adam. Killer.
And back to you, David. Amazing creator right there that's just scratching the surface of what we're going to see from him.
Well, I actually mentioned him earlier. My favorite addition to Cognito is the Snaps edition somebody made in the user group, and it's David Jonathan's genius idea of Snaps. So it goes to show.
David. Yeah.
So let me go through a few more comments before we sort of round this off, because I'm aware it's getting late and you've probably got a life to live.
Well, not much of, but yeah.
You've probably got some amazing magic to work on. I'm just sort of scanning the comments, guys, because there is a lot. But Fink Bubble says, evening chaps, great chat. Congrats on the penguin thing, Adam.
Thank you very much.
That trick reminds me of Chad Long's Look Here Now. It's a beautifully made wallet.
It's a great trick from Chad.
Joey Miner says, favorite trick both of us, individually, that we've created. 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 That we've crea
I mean, it sounds like a plug, but the Cups and Balls is the most I've
Yeah,
ever
you were
put
working
into
on this
something.
before I met you. I've seen you work on this for the past 7 years, and you've been doing it longer than that. It's got to be the biggest passion project you've ever done.
The one I'm probably most proud of as far as like cleverness is Decibel. I really liked Decibel. I thought that was a really cool
Yeah.
piece of kit, and the premise was neat. But it's either Decibel or the Cups and Balls for me.
Yeah, I think I especially love your Cups and Balls. Just 'cause I think I just to see the journey that it's been on, and then to see you do it at Blackpool for me, it was like quite special feeling just to witness that whole thing play out over like nearly a decade for me to see it. So I love that.
I
from
think
you.
it's also the one that allows the most personal touch, right? Decibel is like, this is the way you do this trick.
Yeah.
With the Cups and Balls, it's like, here are the props. Can't wait to see what you do with it,
Yeah.
I'm going to guess yours, your favorite of yours is... I'm going to say Cognito. There's so many layers to Cognito. I'm going to say that it's Cognito.
I think it might be Cognito. Yeah, 'cause yeah, maybe Cognito or the thing that I showed you at Blackpool.
Well, I mean, I was excluding that.
Yeah, but I'm really proud of Cognito. I think it when I put things out like Change, that thing that like caused loads of drama, it's often about sort of setting a bar. So like I was really against flap card magic. Everyone wanted to do visual magic, everyone wanted to do slow motion magic, and everyone just used the flap card. So I wanted to make a statement with it. And then Cognito, again, it's like everyone wanted to do like apps, everyone wanted to do peaks, and everyone was doing the same shit and just covering it in different colors, So I wanted to be like, right, no, there is a way you can do it and like use this. So and I feel like I achieved that with it. And it's not all me; it was a co-creation with me and Owen Garfield, and then Michael Murray's inputs were invaluable, and Stephen Leithwaite's permission. So I can't take full credit, but I'm really proud of that. But I hate talking about myself. So do you have? Stephen K says, "Me and you, do we have any hobbies outside of magic?"
Yeah, I have quite a few. I love 3D printing and 3D designing. I'm playing around with some virtual reality stuff. I love building toys and sort of, toy making for the kids and stuff. And drawing. I suck at it, but actually I'll show you this. This is kind of cool.
Ooh.
This is, so this isn't out yet, but that's Voodooist. This will be out at some point. That's as bad as I am as an artist. Here's Grandfather's top. And then here is Coffee Cups and Beans. So It's not like drawing, but it's, here's in case of emergency.
Yo, I didn't know you did drawings.
Design drawing, you know what I mean? I can't draw think of something and then draw it well, but there's something I really love, taking the idea and putting it on paper, taking it from paper to a design, 3D printing it, and then looking at it. Like that, it gets me giddy. It gets me like a little kid, the fact that that's possible, to think of something, put it on paper, put it in your computer, and then make it all in a couple hours is there's something, I don't know. I would love to be a good artist. I even took some drawing classes, but
just drew dicks for
hard.
3 hours.
It's really hard to be a good artist. It's very tough, and I respect the hell out of people that can. But those are the main hobbies for me.
Yeah, that's sick.
What about you?
I like surfing. I like exercise nowadays.
Yep.
And
that's a good addiction to have.
Yeah, I love making videos. I like film videos and create well, that is I like YouTube's my hobby now. I really have found this as a hobby, which is nice that it's not business.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? But let me get to some of these comments. Marcus says these stories are amazing. By far the best live stream yet. Thank you, man. Both you guys in the live chat is fantastic. Magic Nomadic says, be here now. Adam Dadswell, who I met, is a great magician, performs in the Oracle Bar in Liverpool. He said, I got a card from them somewhere. He said, well said, Wilber.
Thank you.
Alex Bow said, that's how I feel. I told Lloyd this the other day. I found magic again after being injured in the military, and Lloyd's magic has helped me recover so much, and I have a new passion in my life.
Amazing.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Poison says, well said, Adam. Magic Nomadic says, takes a lifetime for most people to find their why. Larry Kugelman says, I volunteer for hospice and perform magic and magic shows. I have literally hundreds of similar stories. I play guitar, sing oldies and do magic. They are drugs which reduce pain and suffering.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Adam, you should hear my stories, he says. I've had people line up after my shows waiting to give me hugs. I play at bedsides for the dying and have people wait until the last note of Amazing Grace was struck, then they died. Whoa.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Well, there's all the hair. Yep.
Jesus. I have people who speak who haven't spoken in years. Caregivers have told me that their loved one, that they lowered or even eliminated their patients' medication while I played.
Amazing.
Miracles, I've seen a lot of them. Wow. Whew. This is insane. This is real magic, right?
That's it. You know, it's taking a trick from the puzzle to the meaning, right? Like, what is it that we're really doing? We're not just tricksters. We're artists, and if you're a good artist, you can touch people in ways no one else can. Layer that,
especially Michael Jackson or Bill Cosby.
Yeah, it's a different kind of artist. Different kind of artist altogether.
Well, look, I've actually gotten through the comments. There's some that I've skipped just because there's a lot going on right now.
Well, thanks everybody who joined. Thanks for jamming for almost 3 hours, and thank you for having me on, man. I love what you're doing and the direction, and you know, I love you. You know that.
Yeah, I love you too, man.
I can't wait to the paths cross again, but to just keep watching your journey, dude. You know, it's a thing to really be passionate about, and you can see from the heart that you are, and I love it. So,
dude, the same goes for you. Everyone drop a like on the video for Adam to just show your appreciation for him taking all the time. Go and find him wherever he's the closest lecturer he is to you. Go and support Vulpine Creations first and foremost, though, because you guys don't need any more convincing from me to see how special the company is and the passion that goes behind it. So, one more time, what's the website URL for everyone out there?
Vulpinecreations.com or vulpinemagic.com if you don't know how to spell creations.
This has been the best one yet. Will you come back on again?
Well, thank you, dude. I really appreciate you having me, and everybody who stuck through, thank you for watching. That was awesome. Thanks a lot.
See you next week.
That awkward